The following is an ESPN special presentation.
98 times Texas and Texas A&M have squared off in the gridiron. Immense pride and tradition exist with these two schools. Tuesday night in Austin, several thousand Orange Blood faithful gathered at the main mall on campus for the annual Candlelight Hex against the Aggies. Last night in College Station, the annual bonfire. Over 50,000 Aggies came together for what is a very moving experience. And if you're a student on this campus, you were taught to become the 12th man for A&M. In the truest spirit of the Aggie war hymn, Hullabaloo, Connect, Connect.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Franklin. Welcome to a special edition of ESPN's primetime coverage of CFA football. We hope it's been a great Thanksgiving day for you and your family. And glad that you can join us, the ESPN family, as we break bread together on the road tonight here in College Station, Texas. This is the 98th meeting between Texas and Texas A&M. Simply put, one of the fiercest rivalries in all of college football.
It's almost a hatred thing. I mean, they genuinely do not like us, and we really don't like them, and that's just the way it is. And the 5 years I've been here, you know, you try to like these guys, and you try to see some good in them, but you really can't. And they feel the same way about us, and that's what makes it so intense, and so many people want to see that in college football, and it's just fun to be a part of it.
Mike, a lot of kids don't get to play in a game that is this big, even bowl games. This is what coaches call truly big game pressure.
Ron, you're right. In this ball game, you know your kids when you coach. They're going to be wide-eyed. They're going to concentrate. Their intensity is going to be great. You're going to have a great week of practice preparing for this game. And everything you do toward the end of the season is preparing for that rivalry football game. And that's you're going to see that tonight. Okay,
Texas A&M is favored in this one this evening. What's a key or keys for Texas to stay in this thing with them?
Well, I think Texas can stay close. I really do. But the first quarter is the key. The first quarter has been a great quarter for Texas A&M. They've dominated against every opponent. But for Texas, it's been a lousy quarter. Peter Gardier, the Texas quarterback, has to get off to a good start and get confidence and produce for him at the quarterback position. They also have to protect the quarterback. They've got to make sure they block Marcus Buckley and Quentin Coriat, and their pass protection holds up.
Third man on the telecast tonight, Dr. Jerry Punch. And let's go down to field side and get this report from him.
Thank you very much, Ron. The man who could have and would have made a major impact on the Longhorn offense tonight is standing with me, senior left tackle Chuck Johnson. And, Chuck, the big question is, can Alan Luther and the other guys on the offensive line protect Peter Gardier?
Well, they've played well all year, ever since I've been hurt. They played against several good defensive ends, Robin Jones, most particularly from Baylor last week, so I think they can get the job done.
As a fifth-year senior, your last time in a Longhorn uniform, you're not playing. But what does this game mean to you?
Well, this is the greatest game in college football. People talk about Notre Dame games, Miami games. Texas A&M is the greatest game in college football, and it hurts me a lot not to be able to play, but I have a lot of confidence in my team that they can come out on top tonight.
The Longhorn motto is 3 words, whatever it takes, and it will take a lot tonight from that offensive line to be able to make the Longhorn offense effective against the Aggies.
ESPN's presentation of CFA football, Texas versus Texas A&M, is brought to you by Thrifty Car Rental. Because it's your money, call 1-800-FOR-CARS or your travel consultant. By BP, a leading producer of oil and gas for America's energy needs. And by GE Spacemaker Entertainment Products, a higher level of entertainment for your kitchen.
Today, we need to make every drop of oil count. So at BP, we're using advanced drilling techniques. Building oil fields that are smaller, more efficient, more productive than ever. Because that's the kind of thinking it takes to deliver about 10% of America's domestic oil. And to make the most of every drop. BP, the energy to change.
Well, it's taken me a little time to find out life ain't just about working. Don't call it shirking. If I take a little time for me, I'll get moving and do some serious grooving. I'm gonna kick back, unwind, you know, the American dream is free. And Hager has a feel for America. Hager has a feel for me.
Have some fun in Hager Casual Pants.
coming to their feet at Kyle Field in College Station, Texas. This series, it goes back to the 1800s when they first started playing. This is the 98th meeting between the two schools. And the wind will be a factor tonight. You can bet that. Here's the series. Texas leads at 64-28-5, but A&M has won 6 of the last 7. And last year, it was the Horns by 1 at Memorial Stadium. The weather, well, as we said, the wind, not probably, but it will be a factor tonight. They're saying 14, but Mike, and looking at the fan, the flags on top of the stadium, it looks like it is gusting closer to 20 or 25 miles an hour.
Ron, for both defenses, you have 2 good defenses, and you also put the wind in the quarterback's face. It could be trouble for both offenses.
Ted Barnhill to kick it off. Biggins and Simmons, the 2 deep men for Texas A&M, and the 98th meeting of the Aggies and Longhorns is underway. And with that strong wind, this one 10 yards out of the back of the end zone. This is Texas A&M on offense. Greg Hill playing with an injured ankle that happened 2 days ago. We'll see how he is affected by that. The wide receivers, keep an eye on Tony Harrison. Leads the Aggies with 29, has 6 touchdowns. And up front, the man that not only calls the offensive blocking assignments, he has done an excellent job. Chris Dowson is the center. Straight ahead. Carter, the fullback, has 5, had it off at 10, and the initial first down of the night. Let's meet the Longhorns on defense. He's a good one, and he's going to have to be great tonight to handle this Aggie offense. Shane Dronette on the left side. Boone Powell, number 56, very underrated. We'll call 56 quite a bit tonight. And in the secondary, another youngster that is extremely underrated nationally. He's only a junior. Heavy hitter, Lance Gunn, number 16. Draw play to Hill. Behind the surge of the offensive line, and you can see the Longhorn defenders simply being pushed back off the ball.
You're right, Ron, and this is a very important series because Texas won the toss and took the win, so they want to play defense right off the bat, and they want to establish that they can stop this Texas A&M offense.
Coach David McWilliams. 24th Texas A&M game for him because he played for the Horns, then was a graduate assistant, then an assistant coach, and now the head coach out of Cleveland, Texas. Straight ahead, they go with the fullback Carter. Anthony Curl, number 42, the junior from Houston, quickest of the Texas linebackers, steps up to make the hit, but it's an Aggie first down.
Texas is so conscious of Bucky Richardson running the option that Doug Carter, the fullback, on the veer play where they just give it to the fullback, is finding some running room in his first couple carries.
They roll the pocket. Richardson under pressure. Now gets it away, and it is incomplete at the 45-yard line. Pass was intended for Brian Mitchell, number 18, who had just come in to the ball game, and for the first time tonight, the Aggies scrimmage with either a second or a third down and long.
Good pressure by Anthony Curl, number 42, on Bucky Richardson. They tried to roll him out to the right. Texas A&M uses a lot of formations because of the experience of Bucky Richardson. They do so much on offense, but they gave an unbalanced line look to Texas on that play.
It was the Arkansas game that we did a couple of weeks ago when they had the string broken. They had scored in their opening possession 12 of their last 13 games. It's incredible. This is Carter, the fullback, and he's going to be wrapped up after a gain of only 1. That's Rapp. Chris Rapp, a sophomore who is playing middle linebacker tonight, replacing Michael Pageant, who was lost for the year a couple of weeks ago.
On that play, Ron, they offset the fullback, Doug Carter, just to the left. Anytime you see them do that tonight, they're either going to run a trap up inside or they're going to run the trap option with Bucky Richardson coming out after he fakes to Doug Carter, optioning with Greg Hill on the outside.
The Longhorns take out a defensive tackle. They bring in the extra defensive back with the third down and 10.
They like to roll to the right on this formation.
Drills it incomplete. Caught it out of bounds at the 48-yard line. And for the first time tonight, the Aggies will send their punting unit on the field.
This is what I talked about in the open. Texas needs to have a good first quarter. This is a good stop for the Texas defense. Now they have the wind to their back. Now Peter Gardere and the offensive Lynn Amity, the offensive coordinator, need to make something happening positive on their side of the ball.
Willie Mack Garza, an average of almost 5 per return. His longest 14 is the deep man. Davis kicking into this very stiff breeze. Now with the wind, he was kicking it up to 70 yards. We'll see what happens here. This is a good kick considering the condition. Garza will go down at the 25. Great coverage by the Texas A&M special teams. To beat the Longhorns on offense. Roderick Walker, a surprise starter tonight because of injuries, had not lost for the rest of the year. Derek Duke, the speed receiver. Look for him to move around tonight to different locations. Longhorns want to get him the football. And Jeff Boyd, a good one at right guard. He's got his hands full because Sam Adams will be the guy he will be blocking much of the night. And Peter Gardere at quarterback. Marcus Buckley will score. Marcus Buckley looked more like the receiver than the defender on that play, and obviously Gardere never saw him. Venetoulias to attempt the extra point. Extra point is up, and it's good. So with 12 minutes, 44 seconds left to play in the opening quarter, Buckley, who has been a nightmare for offenses around the Southwest Conference, steps in front of a pass that was intended for Roderick Walker and goes 18 yards for a touchdown. We'll take a break. The Aggies out early.
Honey, should we call a plumber?
No, I'll fix it.
At Pro Hardware, we understand what getting in over your head can be like. We know that finding help for household projects can be confusing, frustrating, time-consuming. So when you need to know, ask a pro.
I see. Ta-da!
What a pro.
On sale now, Makita's 3/8-inch cordless drill and a variety of Eveready batteries. Ask a pro.
Jeep Cherokee Sport is the perfect vehicle for traveling America's most famous roads. Like Wall Street, Pacific Coast Highway, Park Avenue, and, of course, Sunset Boulevard.
Now drive for the gold and save an additional $1,000 on new Jeep Cherokees.
So we're enjoying our favorite spot. And we see this old guy. Hey, Bobs! Then there was this huge wave. We thought the old guy was history. That was hot. Anyway, we were impressed.
Guru dude, want a cold bud?
Groovy. Groovy. Despite our language differences, all surfers share a universal communication. Oops. Whoa.
ESPN's presentation of CFA football, Texas versus Texas A&M, is brought to you by Jeep and Eagle, a division of Chrysler Corporation, proud sponsor of the 1992 U.S. Olympic team. And by Budweiser, the king of beers with that clean, crisp, cold taste. Nothing beats a Bud. It's a great shot of the bonfire last night here in College Station, attended by over 50,000 people. So, the Texas Longhorns, who came in as an underdog, have dug themselves a little bit deeper hole, and we'll find out if there is wisdom in what has just happened, Mike Godfrey. As you look at number 21, Grady Cavness to the near side, 36, Adrian Walker to the right. return to the 34 by Gerald Crawford. And Pete Gardere comes back on. Mike, how rattled is a youngster after doing something like that in a game this big?
Well, you watch here. Alan Luther's going to block on Marcus Buckley, and he's going to block him outside. Peter Gardere, the quarterback's got just a little flare pass, but he didn't loft it high enough. He threw it too low, and it will rattle him because there's not a lot of confidence in this offense as it is. They have to use the win in this quarter. They have to have a positive series.
Shane Childers, redshirt freshman out of Spring, Texas, takes the pitch out and crosses the 40-yard line. Jason Atkinson, a sophomore out of Houston, is there to make the stop, and there is a flag down across the way right there in front of the Texas bench. Personal foul, the call against Texas A&M.
Peter Gardere's had one of those years. Ron, last year they were behind 8 times, and he brought them back 7 times to win.
This is
the foul is a dead ball. Personal foul. Defense. First.
It's Doyle Jackson. He is our referee tonight from the Southwest Conference. So with that, a running play, and now the 15-yard penalty, and the Longhorns with their deepest penetration of the night, obviously. Adrian Walker, maybe one. Quentin Correa, number 44, the senior out of Baytown Lee, along with Sam Adams, number 95, the freshman out of Cypress Creek.
Quentin Correa, just an outstanding linebacker. Watch him just come in, meet the block of the fullback, destroy that block, and then open up Sam Adams, number 95, to make the tackle. That's the job of the inside linebacker, to meet the fullback head on, crush the fullback, and then try to make the tackle.
Last time we were in here, it was the Arkansas game, and in that ball game, Quentin Correa was the MVP for the Aggies that we voted. Rolls the pocket, throws it complete, and that's Roderick Walker out of the backfield at the 35-yard line.
So important for Peter Gardere. We talked about how bad they've been in the first quarter. You see Peter Gardere's statistics. You can't ask a quarterback to just carry your whole offensive load. They've been hurt so badly this year, injury-wise. That's Lynn Amity, the offensive coordinator. But you have to put him in situations where he's going to have some success so that the confidence level of the whole team, not just the offense, but the defense rises along with Peter Gardere.
Third down, and the line to make just inside the 34. Roderick Walker, and he will have the Texas first down at around the 31-yard line. Jason Atkinson got a handoff. Roderick Walker pressed into service because Butch Hadnot, the regular from Kirbyville, injured a knee. In fact, he is having to have surgery on that knee. Patrick Wilson, another tailback, had already been injured. So the Longhorns having to go into the depth chart as far as running backs tonight. And you can see the numbers. What they have not done in the first quarter in their last 13 games. That is as astounding as the Aggie game, offensive game is offensively. Straight ahead with the fullback, and Childers will be caught by the ankle. Atkinson, one of the first men to get a hand on him, and also Patrick Bates coming up to help out on the stop as the Longhorns with a little misdirection on that play.
Well, this is a wise choice by Lynn Amity to run the football to try to settle down this Texas A&M defense because they feast on turnovers, and when they get going, they get in a rhythm, and you don't want them in a rhythm. The player that they have to get the football to is Derek Duke. Wide receiver number 48 is the player that Peter Gardere will look to try to find in this pass defense of A&M.
They come back to the short side of the field, and Childers, because of the speed, the lateral quickness of those Texas A&M linebackers, that's a tough play to get going with, and he will have maybe a couple. Marcus Buckley, one of the first men out there, along with Atkinson.
If Texas is to stay in this football game, third downs are going to be so important for Peter Gardere to have some success.
Number 11 on the sideline is Chad Lucas. He's a reserve quarterback. Coach Amity said they had what? As many as 2 and 3 people sending in signals, but only one guy is hot.
One guy's live.
Childers is not going to but that's Buckley after Coriat hit him first.
Trying to spread out the A&M defense by going to a one-back offense and then running inside with Shane Childers, but Quentin Coriat, there's no one to block him. There's no lead blocker on the play, and it looks like Texas is making a stand right here, trying to get that first down. They've had problems with field goal kicking, so that's why the decision's a little easier for David McQuaid.
The drive, and now Texas will call a timeout. 8:49 left to play, opening quarter. A&M 7 at Texas 0.
Well, here it is, gentlemen. Top of the world. Now, I put my camera here. Your vehicle would face out over the cliffs. What do you think? Look, if you plan to claim your vehicle's as good as a Jeep, you really need this shot in your commercial.
How are we going to get our vehicle up here?
Helicopter.
We'll lift it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Great. Let's go down and make some calls.
Yeah, same thing. It's going to be a great commercial.
Let's light up the night. Let's do it upright.
Let Long John Silver's brighten your holidays with beautiful crystal. Just 69 or 99 cents with any meal.
Go fish Long John Silver's.
Yeah, the hot new cool rules from Starrett. So functional, so fun, so easy to find. In the hot new colors, you'll really take a shine. To the quality craftsmanship that's really catching on. Catch the new cool rules by Starrett today and finish the job in flying colors.
Need an extra car? Get ready. Call Thrifty for a roomy minivan to go. How about a fun weekend retreat? Get set. Call Thrifty for that weekend breather. Now you can use this credit card for Montgomery Ward car rental at participating Thrifty locations and in select Auto Express locations at Montgomery Ward. With Thrifty, you can leave it all behind. And you get away with paying less. Thrifty car rental, because it's your money.
Saturday, Miami hosts San Diego State. Auburn meets rival Alabama, and Notre Dame visits Hawaii. Live on ESPN.
Auburn, Alabama. That's where Mike and I will be in Birmingham. Right now, the situation, A&M 7-0. Fourth down.
Ron, they have to have something where they roll out to the right here to try to get Peter Gardier away from those pressure of the inside linebackers.
Has a man open, can't hold on. Curtis Thrift, the tight end. Had him open, and Gardier threw the pass with too much lead on it.
Well, they did what I thought they had to do. They rolled him away. Quentin Coriat was really pressuring, but Peter Gardier was outside. The ball was right to Curtis Thrift. It should have been a reception, and they should have been able to keep the drive going, but it's an incomplete pass, and now the Texas defense has to respond again.
Pete Gardier, if you joined us late on his first play, the first pass that he threw it in the arms of Texas Aggie Buckley, who goes 18 for a touchdown. Tommy Jeter steps up into the hold on this one, along with Patton, number 92, and Doug Carter will be stopped for no gain.
Tommy Jeter, number 99, and his defensive linemen get a nice surge on the offensive line. They're able to shut the fullback off. A&M's had some success with that. Now look for A&M to come back and run some option plays with Bucky Richardson.
Texas crowds at the line of scrimmage, and the Aggies come with the reverse, and Dronette is right there to knock down the play for a loss. Tony Harrison on the reverse. Number 81, Dronette, as we talked about in the lineups tonight, he can be a great one.
We saw him against Auburn early in the year, and he can be somebody who controls the line of scrimmage. He read reverse right away, number 81. Watch him come up and make the tackle. He knew right away it was a reverse. He didn't get sucked in and tried to go with the flow of the play, but just waited on the reverse to develop.
6'6", 270 pounds. That's pretty good mobility, Mike.
He can play.
Third down for the Aggies. They need the 34, and Richardson has the pass tip, and Bucky with not a very smart move right there. He could have given up an interception for a touchdown.
That was the run and shoot screen all the way. It was a little shovel screen where they don't block anybody on the outside. Let them come through. The quarterback just flips the ball to the fullback. Good series by the Texas defense.
Davis on his first kick tonight, good for 36 yards.
Should have great field position here, Ron, again for their offense. The fourth down call didn't hurt them. They were able to play good defense, and they'll be right back after this punt.
Beautiful kick into the wind. Garza looks for some place to run, and with the coverage, there will be none. All the way back to the 35-yard line. 44 yards in the kick, and a -5 on the return as Reggie Graham makes the stop. We'll take a break.
It's a little flimsy. It's made of cardboard and cotton. Yet no other headgear comes more strongly recommended by the NFL.
Wow. There are 100 reasons why college football fans will enjoy these 2 ESPN home videos. But for the sake of time, here's 5 of them.
Sunday night. It's been a tough weekend. Yeah, it's not easy bringing home the bacon.
Especially when you could be the bacon.
So what's on TV? How about some Sunday night NFL on ESPN?
Yeah, let's watch them toss around the old pigskin.
Don't say pigskin.
Sunday night NFL on ESPN. Hey, boys, let's pig out.
America, let's pig out ESPN.
Want some pork rinds?
Oh, Dad, pig out.
A lot of people did a lot of that today, pigging out.
I love that commercial. Pig out.
Hope it's been a great Thanksgiving for you and your family around the country, wherever you are. The weather here tonight, when we came to the stadium at 3 o'clock, it was 80 degrees. Ball is on the ground, and Texas A&M has recovered at the 41-yard line. That is a miracle. Shea Shafee for Texas came up with the football. I beg your pardon. The Longhorns will hold on to it. For the world, it looked like a maroon jersey on it.
I don't want to talk about big plays too early, but you're talking about a big one right here because they have the win with them, Texas. They have to get something to happen offensively. Look at this ball. A&M's got 3-4 people around it. They just can't put their hands on it. Big play for Texas to recover that.
There's that win we're talking about. I think it's a little stronger than the 14 that they are reporting. Roderick Walker cuts it back upfield, and he will have it at the 43 as Jason Atkinson is out there to make the stop. I mean, people are losing toupees in the stadium. It's more than 14.
A&M puts so much pressure on your offense, Ron. I'll tell you, the wind, knowing that you have that win and your coach, and Lynn Amity knows he has to get a first down here, then to be able to throw the ball down the field, because you're only going to have 2 quarters with this wind as stiff as it is, to throw your deep passes, and he knows he doesn't want that time to run out in the first quarter without him having the ball for a lot of times.
Pressure from the outside. The quick pass is caught, and that's Kenny Neal, number 6, a sophomore out of Memphis, Texas. Good for Memphis, Tennessee. I beg your pardon. And let's go down to Dr. Jerry Punch for this update. Jerry.
Thank you, gentlemen. You know, if they were to select an MVP for the Longhorns this year, it would have to go to head trainer Mike Spanky Stevens, the guy standing behind me there with the burnt orange hat and the white sweater. Of the 44 players that began the 2-deep chart for the season, 21 went down to injury, and they lost 9 for the season, including 6 linebackers. They have but 4 scholarship linebackers left, guys, and hey, it's hard to fill a team, much less compete in Division I with those kind of losses. Back upstairs.
Gardere, and he's going to put it up on top, and he's got a man out there, and there comes the flag. That's going to have to be defensive holding, I believe, Mike.
Good route on the outside. Just what I was talking about. Lynn Amity knows he has to use that wind with those deep throws, and you have to take advantage of that.
Just as Duke made his fake to the inside and then took it back out, you could see the jersey pop out. Good ball fake by Gardere to freeze the linebackers and also get the secondary to hold up just a bit. This is Doyle Jackson, the referee, and he is making sure where this penalty is going to come from.
The foul was holding by the defense during a pass play. First down.
Let's take a look at the fake by Peter Gardere. Watch the fake here. Here's the run. He puts the ball on his hip. Relax. Now the receiver's running an out and up, and he lets it go. He just threw a little bit too far, but the holding occurred, and they get the penalty.
2 penalties against the Aggies for 25 yards. Gardere hit, and he will be sacked by Marcus Buckley. Well, Buckley has been the impact guy so far.
If you're going to play Marcus Buckley, you better block him with a back, because I don't think the tackles can handle him. He's too quick. And the games that I've watched this year, watch him at the top of your screen, left-hand screen. He beats the block of the left tackle. You're going to see him come in and make the sack. You just can't block him with a tackle. Either pull a guard out to block on him with a better angle, or you have to put a back on him.
Either that or get a white flag.
I'll tell you what, we've watched him now. He's just really something at chasing quarterbacks.
On second down, Walker breaks it into the secondary. We'll take it inside the 35 to the 34. That's a gain of 12 yards as Sam Adams is holding on.
Texas has had good mix in their offensive play calling. They need a big play. They need Peter Gardere to get some confidence, because their defense is playing well. They have to feel pretty good about the way their defense is playing. There's Lynn Amity, the offensive coordinator who coached here at A&M 85, 86, and 87.
Third down. The line to make is the 30. Is Kevin Smith was covering on the play, and Kenny Neal couldn't grab onto it as the Aggies brought everybody.
You can see the strategy by Bob Davie, the defensive coordinator. When Texas goes to the one back with 4 receivers, he's going to blitz them with both inside linebackers and try to put pressure on Peter Gardere.
Craig Dickey now will attempt a field goal. This one will be from 51 yards out. Long enough. Well, be sure and get your first look at next year's college freshman phenoms as Scholastic Sports America profiles this season's best high school players, plus a look at some great Turkey Day rivalries and scores from Thanksgiving high school games across the country. That's coming up immediately after this ball game. Our score 7-0. Texas A&M on top, and it came by way of an interception by Buckley and returning 18 yards for the touchdown. Hill is going to be hit and wrapped up by Chris Rapp. Also, Boone Powell, number 56, is there on the play. Well, Jason Ziegler started the season as the Longhorns' #1 kicker. He injured a muscle in his gone. Jason Post is 3 of 5. Craig Dickey 1 of 6. And Dickey's longest is only 27 yards.
I think if David McWilliams had that to do over again, he would have punted the football, because he lost position taking a chance on the field goal, and they've been so poor this year.
3:15 remaining opening quarter. Option play. Richardson will go nowhere. Tommy Jeter, senior from Deer Park, Texas, is there to foul that play up.
He showed you at the start of the show how Texas defense ranked in the country in the top 5. They're very strong inside with their defensive linemen. Shane Dronette, 81, Patton, 92, Jeter, 99. All three are very good defensive linemen, and if you're going to build a defense, you build it with your defensive linemen. Total yards, they've held A&M to 8 yards.
But yet they trail. Probably one of the reasons it's so astounding to look that they're number 4 in the nation, but are only 5-5 in the season. Draw play with Greg Hill. And he will be cracked down again at the line of scrimmage. It is Chris Rapp, number 63.
People are wondering why that it chose to run the draw and not throw on 3rd and long. But again, the wind makes that decision for you. You don't want to hang the ball up. Your defense is playing very well. Punt the football. In 2-10, you're going to have the ball in the wind with it. Then you'll air it out a little bit throwing the football.
David Davis, a couple of punts, but that last one was extremely impressive. 44 yards into what is a very strong wind. And that one almost blocked. Garza calls for the fair catch and then runs away from it as it will take a Texas bounce back upfield at the 37-yard line. Well, Saturday is a very special day in college football as we are proud to present the annual Iron Bowl clash between Alabama and Auburn. For the first time on this network, Legion Field down in Birmingham will be the site of one of college football's biggest rivalries. That's at 4 o'clock Eastern. Then at 7 o'clock, it's number 1 Miami hosting the explosive offense of the San Diego State Aztecs. So a game that won't be short of fireworks, we can promise you. And then stay tuned following that one. It is Sugar Bowl bound Notre Dame to travel to Honolulu to take on the Hawaii Rainbows at 10:30 Eastern Time. Triple header this Saturday on ESPN. And Pete Gardere feels the pressure of that Aggie rush again. That's the 2nd sack, and this time it's Pat Henry.
All of a sudden now, when you have a Marcus Buckley coming from the outside, you try to get help with your tackle. That's what I was talking about. You try to get a guard out to help on him, and then you have to single the nose guard, which is number 98, Pat Henry. And that's what happened. There you see a pretty good block on the outside. There you see the nose guard beat the block of the center, makes the tackle for a big sack.
Adrian Walker is the ball carrier. That's Atkinson who wraps him up at the 35. And it's going to be 3rd down Texas. And they need to take it down or out to the 47-yard line as we go under 1 minute remaining in this first quarter.
They're trying to do when they go run the ball to the left side, they're trying to get a tight end on Marcus Buckley, who's 6'4", 225, trying to block him and not let him have the corner where there's just an offensive tackle out there on a short side where he's able to play.
Shane Childers was injured on the play. He just left. Phil Brown, number 29, has come in replacing him. He's the lone setback. Gardere, he will be sacked for the 3rd time in this opening quarter. Lance Heichelman this time. Also add Coriat for good measure.
Boy, you just watch the pressure come from the front 4. When you get front 4 pressure, you don't have to bring your linebackers. Look at the twist. Here comes the outside making the play, and then Quentin Coriat finishes it off. Real good pressure on the pass rush by Texas A&M.
The foul was a dead ball foul. False starts, offense, 3rd down.
So the Texas offense comes back on the field.
You have to air one out here, Ron. You got 26 seconds. You have to throw it. You got to take a shot here and try to get the ball down the field. I know the pass rush is coming hard, but it's got to be something off play action where you fake to try to hold people and then hang it up for an outside wide receiver.
An incompleted pass, of course, would stop the clock, but if they complete it and it does not pick up the 1st down, they also are going to have to use a timeout because they're going to lose advantage of the wind, and the clock is running. They go with a running play. Adrian Walker fumbles the football, and it's a moot point as Buckley, who has been everywhere, makes the recovery for the Texas Aggies. So that is the end of the opening quarter. Devastating have been the Aggies on defense. They are on top 7-0. We'll be right back.
State Farm presents the rules of the game.
Today we are talking about inadvertent whistles. In this play, it appears that the defense has scored. However, an official blew the whistle while the ball was loose. Does the touchdown stand?
State Farm sells life insurance. In fact, we've been there protecting hopes and dreams for families for over 60 years. And we're there for your family today with the life insurance value you're looking for. You see, the cost of State Farm life insurance is among the lowest in the industry. So, you get an outstanding value from a company with a long history of financial stability. Isn't that what you're looking for in a life insurance plan for the people who are counting on you?
Oh, yeah. State Farm sells life insurance.
Today we are talking about inadvertent whistles. In this play, the touchdown is not allowed. Once the ball is loose during a fumble, the ball is declared dead and possession is returned to the offense.
Rules of the Game has been brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This is beautiful.
How much? Pulsar?
Pulsar?
Pulsar por este. I think he wants your watch.
But honey, you gave me this watch.
Money. How much money? Pulsar también? Sí, Pulsar. Pulsar por esta. What, is he kidding?
No.
Some things in life are worth far more than they cost.
No thank you.
Pulsar. There's no time like it.
Nice job.
The whole idea for the design behind Jeep Cherokee is to get you wherever you're going, safe and sound. Or if you prefer, safe and no sound.
Now drive for the gold and save $1,000 on new Jeep Cherokees.
Houseware gifts at a hardware store? You bet, when it's a True Value hardware store. For extra guests, get the Costco 5-piece bridge set with 4 comfortable padded chairs. And the men's rechargeable cordless razor by Norelco. It comes with 3 floating heads and a built-in charger. Then get the ITT Trendline desk or wall phone with last number redial. You'll find it at your local True Value, the neighborhood hardware store with national chain store buying power.
Ron Franklin with Mike Gottfried and Dr. Jerry Punch with you from College Station, Texas. It's been a great Thanksgiving for you and your family, and glad to have you along with us. Aggies 7-0. Nothing there. Shane Dronette got a piece of him first, and then Boone Powell came in. And let's take a look at the turnover. Watch 94, Solari.
94, Steve Solari makes the knockout. Ball bounces out. Here comes Marcus Buckley, who's had a career first quarter.
An interception for a touchdown and now a recovered fumble. Like there is a magnet in his chest tonight.
I look for A&M to open it up now on offense with the wind at their back. Bucky Richardson start throwing the football.
Carter, the fullback, goes straight ahead, and he will be met absolutely nothing as Tommy Jeter, number 99. And you're beginning to get the feeling as you watch this, as great as Texas is playing on defense, and they've done this all year, they are playing that bad on offense.
Well, that's why you asked how a team could be ranked in the top 5 and be 5-5. This is a great defensive football team. And their back has been to the wall the whole first quarter, yet they continue to play. Now they have to stop them on 3rd and long here.
Aggies are 0 for 3 so far tonight on 3rd down conversions. They set the screen over the middle, incomplete. Tommy Jeter was the man putting on the pressure. They wanted to get the screen pass to 32 Carter.
They can keep the game relatively close, and I think you keep playing as a defense. But they've struggled so much on offense, your defense eventually loses confidence in the offense.
Well, you can see that Cavness was out there for a second, 21, and now 17, Williamack Garza goes back in a single safety. And I can tell you this, in the warm-ups with the wind, this young man was kicking the ball 70 and 75 yards.
He's probably kick it to the arena.
This is a coverage kick right here. It looks like a Negro knuckleball. I tell you, that's a heck of an effort to be able to catch that thing in this wind. Garza goes down. It's a 33-yard punt. And Texas will take it over at around their own 10-yard line. Storyline in this one so far, Buckley. A touchdown interception, 18 yards, also a fumble recovery. Total yards, Texas 59, A&M only 9, but the defense scored the touch. And the average gain rush by A&M has been 1 yard per try so far.
I kind of feel Lynn Amity, the offensive coordinator, is just looking for something to hang his hat on right now. He's showing a lot of formation, trying to find something to go to.
Roderick Walker. Coriat, number 44, rides him down. Maybe it's a gain of 1. That is 4 individual tackles for Coriat already in the game.
I think what I'd do is find out where he lines up, number 44, and I'm going to run the other way. Now, I know he's very good laterally also, but I'm going to make sure I'm not going to run at him. I'm going to try to control him a little bit and keep the ball away from him. He's a dominant football player.
Childers to the 14. That'll be the end of the way. It's going to be a 3rd down, and the line to make is just across the 20. Again, it's Buckley making the defensive stop for the Aggies.
See how your game plan changes now. Texas is kind of coming to a 2-back formation with the wind in their face. They've closed it up a little bit. They were running some 4 receivers, and here's the player, Derek Duke, that I feel like's the guy that just has to give him the big play tonight. They've got to be able to get the ball to him, and he has to break something for him to have the kind of night to stay in this football game.
We'll see if they look for number 48 on this play. 3rd down. Texas 2 of 5 on 3rd down conversions as they keep it on the ground, and Roderick Walker will not get it. He's shy of the 20. Jason Atkinson, number 43, comes up to make the hit.
Bob Davie, the defensive coordinator, you see him right here, graduate of Youngstown State University. He knows now that Texas is going to settle into a running game when they go into the teeth of the wind. So now he brings his defense in a little tighter, now can blitz a little bit more.
McClanahan, this is the first punt for the Texas Longhorns so far tonight. And he's got that monster wind to kick in too. High hanging spiral, and it takes a big Texas roll across the 50-yard line to the 47. So we'll take a timeout with 11:47 remaining until halftime. Texas A&M 7-0.
Presenting the G-Shock watch from Casio. The water-resistant sports watch that's ready for action. With a built-in shock absorber. It's tough. So tough, this G-Shock can take a slap in the face and not even flinch. The Casio G-Shock. It's one tough watch to beat. And now these new additions to our G-Shock collection from Casio, where miracles never cease.
Dodge announces the new Magnum Series engines. Engines that deliver as much as 44% more power. Here's a simple promise. Overall, today's Dodge trucks, gas and diesel, can deliver more payload, towing, and horsepower than Ford, Chevy, or any import. Dodge trucks, a powerful way to rediscover American value.
Now, drive for the gold with up to $1,000 cash back on select Dodge trucks.
Imagine being born with the ability to meet any challenge expertly. That's the wonder of the Maxim XI from Minolta. With the experience of professionals programmed right in, it responds to any change of speed, or light, or distance automatically. For ultimate performance, the multi-talented Maxim XI, born experienced.
Only from the mind of Minolta.
ESPN's presentation of CFA football, Texas versus Texas A&M, is brought to you by Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation, proud sponsor of the 1992 U.S. Olympic team. And by Minolta. Experience the magic of Maxim, only from the mind of Minolta. 11 minutes and 47 seconds remaining until halftime, and the Aggies on top 7-0. Defensively, both sides of the ball, it's what you expected, isn't it, Mike?
It really is. They've had 11 rushes, A&M for only 9 yards. They have to open it up. They have to throw the football.
It's Mitchell in motion back toward the line of scrimmage, and they come with the option play. Hill will take it into Texas territory, and Anthony Curl, who's a junior linebacker out of Houston, is there to make the stop.
Texas plays man coverage. You see Greg Hill, 216 rushes, 1150, 5.3 yards per carry. Texas plays a lot of man coverage, which means the two corners are going to be on the wide receivers man-to-man. The safeties are the people that have to play the pitch man. Greg Hill on the option.
By the way, that is the most prolific as a freshman in the Southwest Conference, and the record that he broke was held by Earl Campbell, so he's ahead of some pretty good company. Quick handoff, and that's Carter, and the fullback is knocked down by Shane Dronette, number 81.
Sean Dronette, number 81. Watch him close now. This is going to be a trap play where they're going to block down. There's the trap, but he came inside the block of the offensive tackle to make the play on the trap.
Shane Dronette, some people wondering if he might turn pro after this year rather than coming back for his senior year. Decision that he has to make. Richardson runs up into the pocket, gets it complete to Hill, and he will be knocked down by Cavanis at the 35-yard line, but that is enough for the A&M first down.
When you play a lot of man coverage and the quarterback gets that much time, Bucky Richardson went back to set up on the drop back pass. Nothing was there. You're going to see him scramble here in a second. Watch the mobility. Here he sets up the pass. You see the Tommy Jeter pressuring him. Now he works up inside, finds the receiver, Greg Hill, number 27, for the first down. A lot of man coverage. Linebacker Anthony Curl was on Greg Hill.
Bucky Richardson, 1 of 5, his first completion of the night. As the pitch goes to Hill, and now they come with the reverse. Biggins back to the short side of the field, and he's knocked out of bounds at around the 30-yard line. So the Aggies with a little trickery here in the second quarter, and they'll pick up 5.
They're so good against the run, Ron, Texas. They had it for just a moment, but Texas showed speed. Bo Robinson, number 45, able to knock the reverse out of bounds. There's Texas defense now. I tell you, they're impressive.
Warbert Biggins is a freshman right out of high school. Aldine MacArthur was his high school just north of Houston. Richardson with an audible. You can see how many Longhorns are within a couple of yards of the line of scrimmage. And it's the quick pass, and they have it complete at the 21-yard line to Tony Harrison. Good call and a good throw.
What happened on that run is they went to 2 deep coverage, and they were going to fire the corner from the short side of the field. Bucky Richardson, again, so experienced. Watch down here at the bottom, the receiver. See the corner come fire? Bucky Richardson reads it, throws the little quick pass for the completion. That's what you get when you get an experienced quarterback.
On first down, Hill inside the 20. Looked as though he had a big hole, and then it closed up in a hurry as Shane Dronette again is there to make the defensive play. And Carter, the fullback for the Aggies, is shaken up. And in fact, the trainers are out on the field to get him. Randy Simmons, number 33, will come into the ballgame. He's a senior out of McKinney. Hill injured an ankle day before yesterday, and from what the coaching staff here at Aggieland said, there were a few people that kind of held their breath for a moment because he has been so exciting.
They have so much depth. They can throw 2, 3 tailbacks at you. They just have so much depth in the backfield.
This is Simmons. Hill squeezes through a small hole, and he will take it to the 15-yard line. And let's go down and get a report from Dr. Jerry Punch on an injury for Texas.
Gentlemen, we talked about all the injuries Texas had coming into this game. They've got another one now. Senior left cornerback Mark Berry has an Achilles tendon problem. It's been bothering him for a couple of weeks. He was expected to start tonight. He's being used very sparingly now. He's not in the game. May come back in later on, but right now it's the Achilles tendon. It's the problem. Back upstairs.
Thank you, Jerry. This is the deepest penetration by the Aggies tonight. The touchdown that they scored, of course, came from the defense. Hill cuts back up into the hole. What a cut. There was no place to go to the outside, and he found daylight to the inside. But he is not, I don't believe, going to have the first down.
Boy, you're talking about a cut there. Greg Hill made an outstanding cut because Texas had penetration up the field. See Bob Toledo, the offensive coordinator. Watch the cut by Greg Hill. Watch the block by number 33, Randy Simmons. Now there's the cut. Cuts up inside. There's a missed tackle. It's close to the first down.
Anthony Curl really belted him down, but I tell you, that play was going to head out, and it came back in. And we'll see right now if the freshman has picked it up. Not going to be a little bit short. Do you go for it, Mike, or do you kick the field goal?
I think you go for it. The way you're playing defense, I think you go for the score. And Bucky Richardson, you take him on a quarterback sneak. He's 6'2", 221 pounds. He's a strong. He's just like a running back. I'm going to put the ball in his hands. Either that or an option play with him carrying it.
This is the 9th play of this Aggie drive.
Play to your defense. Getting key games like this, big games, you got to take some chances.
Quarterback sneak, and I think he will have it, yes. Patton and Dronette down on the bottom of the pile, but it appeared as though, yes, he will have it. 1st and 10, A&M, just outside the 10.
Liked him all year as a quarterback. You're talking about a big quarterback at 6'2", 221 pounds. Probably will be a running back in the pros. Wouldn't surprise me if somebody shows me a roster one day where he's a linebacker. I mean, he's just a tough physical football player.
Pitch goes to Hill. Get at the line of scrimmage. That's Dronette. I'll tell you, as Buckley has played on the other side of the football for the Aggies, so has Dronette, number 81 for the Texas Longhorns. He already has a handful of tackles.
He gets so much penetration on the offensive line. Both the A&M offensive guards, John Ellison and Tyler Harrison, have a broken wrist, and they have a hard time locking out because of that today. And they're having problems with pass protection, but it also looks like they're having problems blocking Dronette.
Richardson now.
He may check out to the fade, Ron.
I think he has. He saw the pressure, or the potential pressure, and they go with the pitch, and Hill, it's Bo Robinson, one of the freshmen there, along with Rapp, to make the tackle.
Ron, what happened on that play was that Texas jumped into the 46 defense. And almost every college team I've seen, when you see the 46 defense and you see the 8-man front, you like to check off to the option because the pros run the 46, but they can't, supposedly, you can't stop the option with that defense. But they were able to come off the blocks and make the play.
Timeout on the field, 6:44 until halftime. Aggies 7 and the Longhorns nothing.
There is a new gasoline that is clearly advanced. A new gasoline that will give you the highest level of engine cleaning for high performance. A new gasoline formulated to clean fuel injectors and intake valves. Who has this new gasoline? You know who. New Phase 4 gasoline from Exxon for cleaner engines and high performance.
Most guys kick back on the weekends. Jack, on the other hand, good. So, how do you feel?
Ready to rock and roll.
Only one beer has the taste as genuine as the people who drink it. Budweiser.
Tomorrow,
we're sleeping in.
Chrysler announces the ultimate guarantee.
A plan that helps protect your new Dodge Caravan or Plymouth Voyager from the day you buy to the day you sell. It's your assurance of value when you buy, safety when you drive, security when you need it. A warranty choice no one else offers. Even guaranteed value when you trade. You can't do better than that. Call 1-800-92-MINIVAN and rediscover American value.
Saturday, Miami hosts San Diego State. Auburn meets rival Alabama, and Notre Dame visits Hawaii. Live on ESPN.
David McWilliams paces as Texas fight breaks out in the background. And on the other sideline, R.C. Slocum looks on, and this is extremely big, I think, for Texas. Mike, as far as this first half is concerned, with this third down.
Oh, it's big. They played strong on defense. Now they got to look at possibly some type of play-action pass where they try to get the ball to tight end, number 86, Greg Short.
Mitchell in motion. Lucky Richardson had to get back on that football. And now the special teams will come from the sideline as a missing connection on the snap. And Terry Venetoulias will come on to attempt this field goal for the Aggies. This young man has done an outstanding job this year. As you see his numbers, 12 of 17. But actually with the wind behind him, maybe this is a tough angle from the 15-yard line. Actually, they're going to say 26 yards.
Sean Dronette, remember, he blocks and field goals.
Shane Dronette in that game against Auburn, he did. He had a block. Venetoulias knocks this one through from 26.
The Aggie cannon sounds. We were joking yesterday. We're out here running this morning that we were looking at the trees up there. There's one tree that does not have as many leaves on it, and that's the one where the cannon is focused.
Let's go down to Dr. Jerry Punch.
Thank you very much, Ron. A lot of interested people in this field tonight, and one of them is Chuck Knobloch, 1991 American League Rookie of the Year, and an Aggie, a two-time All-American baseball player here at Texas A&M. And all this towel waving must remind you a little bit of those Homer hankies up there in the Metrodome.
Yeah, it does. It reminds me of the way we played in the World Series. This is definitely a World Series atmosphere, and it's just great to be back here.
You know, all the noise you had in the Metrodome and down in Atlanta, the Tomahawk Chop, you had to be accustomed to that with all the racket they have for these Southwest Conference games.
Sure, I got used to it. You know, this crowd lent a hand in preparing me for a World Series type crowd, and you know, it's great here. It's a great atmosphere. It's great for college football in the Southwest Conference.
You come home a hero, a member of a World Championship team. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Chuck Knobloch, 1991 American League Rookie of the Year. Back upstairs.
Thanks, Jerry. Again, the kick with the wind. This is going to go out of the back of the end zone. And let's go back to the studio for an update. And Chris Fowler. Chris, what you got for us?
Okay, Ron, if you missed it, a couple of NFL scores today. The Lions beat the Bears. They're tied atop the Central at 9-4. And Dallas behind a big game for Michael Irvin beats Pittsburgh 20-10. We'll have highlights of those ball games at halftime, plus the halftime blitz, news and notes for the weekend games, and the who's number one debate. Mr. Gottfried has an opinion on that. We'll hear from that at halftime.
Okay, Chris. By the way, when Knobloch was introduced to this crowd before the game, that's the largest cheer with the exception of the Buckley touchdown that we've heard tonight. He got a standing ovation. Gardere whips the pass. Kenny Neal. And they say incomplete, out of bounds at the 32.
Little late getting the ball to Neal. Number 6, Kenny Neal. David McWilliams knows the frustration that he feels with his offense right now. You watch Peter Gardere. Here's the fake. Outside, he's able to get outside the rush. Here's the throw to Kenny Neal, just a little too close to the sidelines. Feet come down out of bounds. Close.
10-0 to A&M on top in what has been a very rapid first half with both teams running so much. We are not even 1 hour into this ball game. Roderick Walker, and he will only have a couple as Sam Adams. You can see number 95 coming in to destroy that play. And now Texas with a third down and short. And here's what the Longhorns are going to have to be so careful of in this quarter going into the win. And the fact is, you can't be punting from this deep because you're going to give up good field position every time.
Well, you can't continue to give Bucky Richardson the A&M offense that good field position. They're eventually going to cash in on you. You have to make some key throws. It's going to take a timeout.
Glenn Amity, the offensive coordinator, now as David McWilliams comes down to talk with him, they have called a timeout. So we'll take a break. 5:23 until halftime. We'll be back at College Station after this.
What is reality?
You talking to me?
It's what you see.
Relativity. And I'll be traveling. Hello, Lawrence. That's reality.
Repeat the question.
Why don't you tell me what reality is?
It's what I wear.
You got a problem with that? Traveling at the speed of light.
Hello, Lawrence. Reality. Now you can wear the look of the NFL. That's reality.
Oh, reality. Simply stated, that's
Pro Line. Wear what the pros wear. Still can't hear. Pro Line.
Now that's reality.
Make this the winter you learn to ski better with tips and techniques from ski's top teaching pros. Found in this all-new Ski Better Now video. Yours free. Call this toll-free number today, and Ski Magazine will send you this video free with your paid subscription of only $11.94. Enjoy a full season of Ski Magazine, America's top-rated magazine for skiers. Beginner or expert, reach new levels of ability. Call today to get Ski Magazine, plus your free video, and ski better now.
Excitement that stands out. NCAA basketball coming at you. Powerhouse teams, sharpshooting players, buzzer-beating action.
He's got time. He's got time.
He hits it at the buzzer. Top teams battle to determine which conference reigns supreme. The ACC Big East Challenge. It's outstanding stuff. Starting Monday live on ESPN.
Third down for the Longhorns, and what they need is the 30-yard line if they want to hold on to the football without having it punted away. They're 2 of 6 on third down conversions. Gardere running for his life, and he will have the first down out at the 34-yard line. You remember last year that he had the streak to the outside, and he took it for a touchdown, which proved to be huge in the Texas win over A&M.
Well, he had his tight end, Curtis Thrift, down the middle open. Just didn't have time. You see the pressure coming from the right side, but the speed to outrun Quentin Coriat to pick up the first down. Wise choice by Peter Gardere, the quarterback. Sam Adams, number 95, finally makes the tackle. You have to find a way to slow that pressure down. There's got to be a screen, a trap, something to slow down the pressure of the A&M defense.
Gardere's pass is caught. Going to be a gain of only a couple. Justin McLemore, number 22. He's a redshirt freshman out of Waxahachie, Texas, is on the receiving end.
Tried to throw the middle screen, Ron, there to McLemore, number 22, but it just happened too quick. Didn't get time to set up the lineman downfield.
Pete Gardere, a junior out of Houston Lee High School. 6 feet 189. Is an outstanding high school baseball player and also led the city of Houston for a couple of years in punting. They don't use him as a punter. Straight ahead. I'm not so sure that that wasn't a broken play, bobbled snap or something, as Gardere took it straight ahead. And number 9, Marcus Buckley, wrapped him up. And again, the Longhorns look at a third down and long.
These fans seem to yell louder when Texas has the ball, so you can't. It's tough to communicate, and I think the center snapped the ball a little too quickly that time.
A little surprise for the quarterback, huh?
It's a surprise, and you make sure you get on it.
You can see the pressure coming from the outside, and Gardere steps up, and he will be sacked again. That is the third time that the Texas quarterback has been sacked tonight. And at the bottom of all that is big 95 Sam Adams.
Sam Adams is in there, and also Marcus Buckley came from the outside again. Left side of your screen, you're going to see number 9. You can't block him with an offensive tackle. They try to get a back on him, but he beat the block of the offensive back, came in, was able to make the play on Peter Gardere. Well, you try a tackle, you try a guard, you try a back.
McClanahan's punt, his first one good for 34 yards, and this one is fair caught down at the 33. Well, ESPN's coverage of the Davis Cup Finals between the United States and France begins tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. The matchups are Andre Agassi against Guy Forget and Pete Sampras versus Henri Lecomte. It all gets underway at 7:30 a.m. tomorrow morning on ESPN. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, and Dr. Jerry Punch. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. 2:48 until halftime. And the Aggies have owned this one 10-0. Texas defensively has played well, but the offense has not arrived yet. Greg Hill in the pitch. and wrap the middle linebacker along with Boone Powell, combine to make a stop on him.
Ron, I'm surprised at A&M right now, but I think there's a reason for what. I figured they would be throwing with the wind, let Bucky Richardson air some passes out, but there's two things that might be in that thinking. Number one, Bucky had a bruised shoulder. Didn't throw a lot in practice yesterday. I don't know how much that's affecting him. The other is when you're playing so well on defense, you just have a tendency sometimes to turn it over your defense. But I'm surprised. I just figure somewhere along the line when you have the wind at your back, you're going to cut it loose. Open up your passing game.
Richardson wants to throw this time. Pumps one. He's got a man wide open on a blown coverage, and oh my goodness, he missed Brian Mitchell. Mitchell looked like the first guy out to the workout.
He was the only guy at the workout. I think what Bucky Richardson, he overstrided number one, but he didn't get any air under the ball, didn't get it high enough. Watch this. He rolls out. He's going to pump. Now the receiver takes off down the field, but he throws a flat ball. He needs to put it up in the air and let the receiver run under it because there's no one else out there.
The player who had stumbled was Mark Berry, number 9, the player that Dr. Jerry Punch was talking about, who had suffered an injury and had been used sparingly. And Texas has gotten him out of the ballgame. Obviously, that injury he can't play with. Pass is intercepted by Boone Powell. And the Texas linebacker will take it inside the 25 and down to the 20-yard line. 21 yards on the return.
That's what I was saying about when you want to play your defense. But Bucky Richardson threw that one off his back foot. Just a bad throw and a bad choice by Bucky. Watch the outside linebacker on the drop. Watch Bucky Richardson throw the ball off the wrong foot. And there's the interception. It sets up great field position for the Texas offense.
Running play will go for 4, now 5 as Phil Brown, a sophomore out of Commerce, Texas, comes into the game. We didn't know if we'd see him. He's been plagued with an injury, but he's in to carry on this one.
Big series for Peter Gardere and this Texas offense. Defense gave them what they needed, a big turnover and great field position into the wind. But they got the ball on about the 16-yard line. They've got to turn this into a touchdown.
Longhorns trailing 10-0 and an opportunity to get on the board. And again, they go back to the short side of the field, and there is nothing. Coriat is the first man there to make the hit. And then you can see Sam Adams, number 95, coming in. And a flag has come in late.
Their idea running into the short side of the field is to get Marcus Buckley on a tight end.
That will be a face mask call against the Aggies. So with 1:13 remaining until halftime, Mike, this penalty, I am not sure where that thing is spotted. It's going to be very close to a first down. But if you're Texas, you get this down over. Do you go on into the end zone now with the pass?
I think you do. I don't think, they may prove me wrong, but I don't think you can run it in on the Texas A&M defense. I think you're going to have some type of play-action pass. I think this could be a first down right here. Some type of play-action pass after you pick up the first down. Now, they got it first down.
The foul is a 5-yard face mask by the defense. First down.
From where the ball has been spotted, as you can see, it is just outside the 10. So conceivably, Texas could pick up a first down without scoring.
They could. I just feel like you need a play-action pass to get it in there. Now, they've had success running to the left side. Let's see if they keep going with it.
Phil Brown with the running play takes it for a couple, maybe 3.
Texas has one timeout remaining for the half.
Clock is running with 48, now 47 seconds. Pete Gardere looks to the far sideline, gets his offensive call. Blitz coming from the middle, lost the pass for the end zone, and it is incomplete. Derek Duke is the player that he wanted.
Talk about good defense now. Peter Gardere's throwing to the corner. 3-step drop, and hang it up in the corner for Derek Duke. Look at the coverage by Kevin Smith. Nice. Ball was thrown well. First team All-American Kevin Smith. Now, Ron, you need some kind of rollout because you're going to get pressure up inside. You have to bring Peter Gardere to the right side and try to roll him away from that pressure.
You see the pressure. Gardere will be sacked, and now a flag comes down. That is thrown at the line of scrimmage. Well, actually, Texas gets somewhat of a reprieve here because with the illegal procedure, I assume he is saying it was a dead ball foul, so they'll get third down over if it was a dead ball foul.
Ron, I'm going to go back again. They have to roll him out. You can't stay inside with this defense. They're just too quick inside, and the offensive line of Texas cannot handle them.
Coming up at halftime, the halftime blitz. Also, those NFL games that were played today. And also some highlights from the Pitt-Penn State game.
.28 seconds. 28.
It's a success that Bob Davie, you see him right here. He's talking. He thinks it's going to be some type of option pass play. He's going to bring him up inside. You can see the signal he's giving right there. He's turning like a key. He wants Quentin Coriat up inside. Again, I feel like that they have to try to get Peter Gardere away from that middle of that stunt.
You know, I like the way Doyle Jackson has handled this first half. There are a lot of distractions, both coaches hollering on the field and everything. He doesn't let, his mind is made up very, and we've moved right along. He's done a good job.
He's in control. He communicates, exactly, and right. He's in control of this football game. And now you can hear that crowd.
It is caught by Neal at the 1.5-yard line. That will not be enough for the first down. You remember I said that Texas could get a first down without scoring, but they have to call the timeout to stop the clock with 17 seconds. And now some real decisions. So let's take a break. 10-0. Aggies on top. We'll be right back.
It's the same thing every Saturday. He puts on those old blue jeans and goes out with that old dog, and he's gone all day. He says he's going to bring back dinner, but all he ever brings back is that old dog.
Here's to old dogs, Saturday mornings, and comfortable blue jeans. Wrangler.
Who needs all the rigmarole?
Face it, lots of places offer new tires. I'm not going to hand my car over to just anyone. But you got to ask yourself, who's going to back you better than Sears?
When they say it's guaranteed, it's guaranteed.
And right now, Sears Guardsman Response Radio is at our lowest price ever, only $17.99. Installed in just 60 minutes, 7 days a week.
Who's going to back you better than Sears?
It is from Kodak. It delivers the highest resolution. Microfine grain. Superior image structure. For ultra-sharp detail. It is called Ektar. Ektar Film by Kodak. The genius is in the details. Ektar Film now comes in a new cartonless package in 25, 100, and 1,000 speeds.
Well, there you see the numbers. 17 ticks left on the clock until halftime. They did bring in the change to measure. Texas is about, what, 2/3 of a yard away from picking up a first down.
They got to get the first down, Ron, with some kind of running play, then kill the clock. Peter Gardere step up there because the clock will stop if they pick up the first down, kill the clock, and it gives them a shot.
And they have no timeouts left. Touchdown, Texas. Roderick Walker. Shoulders and thrift with some awfully good blocks to pave the way.
Now you credit David McWilliams with that call. Now that's a gutty call. So you have 4th and 1, but he knows his offense isn't going to get these many opportunities to score against this great defense. Took advantage of it, went for the 4th and 1 for the touchdown.
Fred Dickey to attempt the extra point for the Longhorns. And he is true. So 13 ticks left in the clock now. And let's take one more look at the touchdown run by Roderick Walker.
4th and 1 yard. They figured that A&M would bring the defense down inside. They're going to pitch the ball out to Roderick Walker. There's a good block on the corner, good block on the strong safety. Roderick Walker just stretches out, makes the play. Curtis Striff, number 84, started this play with a good block. The tight end, there you see his block. Now you're going to see a block by Shane Childers, number 34. Watch his block now. The fullback's block. Steps up inside, gets on the linebacker, allows Roderick Walker to become airborne and get in the end zone.
So we have a 10-7 ball game with 13 seconds left until halftime. Clovis Hale talking with some of the offensive linemen on the far side. It's Dwayne Whetstone for 75 that he's visiting with.
They accomplished what they needed to accomplish in the first half. They got out of here in a close ball game, and as badly as their offense played, their defense picked it up for them and came up with a big play.
Number 49, Ted Barnhill. He is a junior out of Brenham, Texas. He will kick it off. And just as though the Aggies had done, a squib kick rather than kicking it up into the wind. Here's the scoring drive by Texas. 6 plays following the interception by Boone Powell. 20 yards, 1 minute 38 seconds. Roderick Walker with the 2-yard touchdown. So turnovers have led to both touchdowns. Neither team has been able to muster a touchdown against, well, take it back. Right there. No points, Ron.
No, but I know what you're saying, but the wind, too. You're right. They haven't been able to use the wind in the 2 quarters that they've had.
Bucky Richardson will go down on one knee, and these 2 teams will head to the locker room. It is halftime of this, the 98th meeting between Texas and Texas A&M. We're at halftime. The Lone Star waving in the breeze. In College Station, Texas. We'll be back.
So you want a car with all the good stuff. Power steering, power brakes, automatic transmission, AM/FM stereo, air conditioning, a terrific warranty, even an airbag. Well, over $10,000, you'll have lots of choices. But under $10,000, you'll find only one Dodge Shadow America.
Now, drive for the gold with up to $1,500 cash back on select Dodge cars.
Anybody thought about dynamite?
Today, we need to make every drop of oil count. So at BP, we're using advanced drilling techniques. Building oil fields that are smaller, more efficient, more productive than ever. Because that's the kind of thinking it takes to deliver about 10% of America's domestic oil. And to make the most of every drop. BP, the energy to change.
And holiday greetings from all of us at the ESPN College Football Studios. Form holding true. Aggies up 10-7. When they play Texas on ESPN, they're 6-0. When the game is played on another network, they are 0-11. Lee, good old-fashioned football Southwest Conference style.
Boy, you're
so
not
far.
talking about old-fashioned. It looks like Amos Alonso's Stag against General Bob Nalen out there. If either one of these two teams had an idea how to throw the ball, they would be dangerous because I tell you, they play national championship caliber defense on that field tonight.
Roderick Walker, obviously the huge play for Texas, keeps them back in the game, momentum at the end of the half. Another game on Thanksgiving Day, a traditional rivalry that started way back in 1893, but that comes to an end after next season. Lions' final trip to Pitt Stadium as they move on into the Big Ten. Richie Anderson all day long for the Lions, 167 yards rushing. Pitt had gotten close. This run made it 32-20. Frustrating day for Alex Van Pelt. 64 attempts, a lot of them ended up like this. In the hands of Penn State, Darren Perry. Then Reggie Givens. Derek Bonner collects a tipped pass right here. 5 interceptions for Penn State. They've won 3 in a row over Pitt. The frustration there on the face of Van Pelt, 32-20. They play next year for the final time in State College. 1AA Alabama State beats Division II Johnson C. Smith. They ran up the score by onside kicking when they were way ahead because they claim Johnson C. Smith taunted, then took a cheap shot at their kicker, who happened to be the only white player on both teams. NFL games, the Bears, the Lions on Thanksgiving Day, an important game for the black and blue division, the NFC Central. Lions, always tough in the Dome, a tribute to Mike Utley, their partially paralyzed teammate before the game. They were inspired. Eric Kramer finds Robert Clark 9 yards for the touchdown. Detroit up 10-0. Jim Harbaugh struggled. The pass intercepted by George Jameson. Then Jameson will fumble the football. One of a lot of lucky bounces for the Lions. Melvin Jenkins recovers it. Harbaugh was picked off 4 times. The Bears also fumbled twice. They win it 16-6 in a performance Ditka called the worst in the history of football on the part of the Bears. That covers a lot of ground. Steelers and Cowboys meeting. Hit of the year, maybe. Kelvin Martin. Crushed right here by Gary Jones. Speaking of crushing, Michael Irvin would crush the Steeler comeback hopes. A 66-yard catch and run. Rod Woodson could not run him down. And Irvin, 8 catches, 157 yards. Emmitt Smith ran for 109 yards as Dallas goes to 8-5 by beating the Steelers 20-10. Steve Berline, 217 yards, did not throw an interception, did have 1 touchdown, and the Steelers ran for just 65 yards. Stay where you are. Time to call in Max Protect, our correspondents massing at the line of scrimmage. The halftime blitz coming your way when the halftime report continues on Thanksgiving.
Introducing the Dremel Moto Tool. You cut, we cut. You sharpen, we sharpen. You polish, we polish. You drill, we drill. You clean, we clean. You sand, we sand. You grind, we grind. You hammer. Did I mention we cut? The Dremel Moto Tool, with more than 150 available accessories. Why settle for some 2-bit Christmas gift?
It is from Kodak. It delivers the highest resolution. Microfine grain. Superior image structure. For ultra-sharp detail. It is called Ektar. Ektar Film by Kodak. The genius is in the details. Ektar Film now comes in a new cartonless package in 25, 100, and 1,000 speeds.
Sometimes when I remember a song that I used to sing with my mother in Mexico, I pick up the phone and I said, Mom, I just heard Caminemos. It's like we're together again.
Clear digital connections, more than any other company. That's why Roberto Ortega depends on AT&T International Long Distance.
It makes me feel like I never left.
And welcome back to halftime. Time now to hand out some postseason honors, talk about that coaching rumor mill, and also some news and notes for some showdowns on the final week of the regular season. We'll start the blitz with Gary Danielson on the Midwest beat.
Thanks, Chris. The big story in the Midwest are the coaches. First at Notre Dame, Lou Holtz is denying everything. He does think he protests too much. Stay tuned for more from South Bend. At Ohio State, John Cooper got his contract extension, but not before Ohio State President Gordon Gee contacted and got a no from Colorado's Bill McCartney. At Minnesota, John Gutekunst fired with a 5-year contract. the early favorite, Earl Bruce, to return to the Big Ten. And at Michigan State. The simple story here, Michigan State President John DiBiagio and George Perles don't like or trust each other. They haven't spoken for a year. Look for this one to end up in court. Seems like contracts don't amount to much anymore, do they? Let's pick a Midwest MVP, and it's got to be Desmond Howard. But how about a Cy Young to Michigan pitcher quarterback Elvis Grbac? He's the nation's leading rated passer, but it was this 4th-and-1 audible to a pass that beat Notre Dame that clinched it for me. Not a bad catch either. I'm Gary Danielson. Now to the Southeast beat, Chris Mortensen.
Thanks, Gary. Florida and Florida State Saturday at Florida Field. Florida coach Steve Spurrier put a gag order on his team this week, but the talk is still on. A pair of former Pascagoula, Mississippi high school teammates, Florida quarterback Shane Matthews, Florida State cornerback Terrell Buckley, two great ones coached by Matthews' father, Bill. Buckley's task is to cover Florida burner Trey Everett. Healthy after a season-long hamstring injury, he showed that against Kentucky with 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. In a bitter rivalry at Birmingham's Legion Field, Auburn and Alabama, Auburn is trying to avoid its first losing season since 1981, which was Pat Dye's first year. And, of course, there's speculation that this is Pat Dye's last year, depending on the Eric Ramsey situation. Let's talk about the MVP in the Southeast. A sleeper was Eric Rett, Florida running back, who did something Neil Anderson and Emmitt Smith never did at Florida. 1,000 yards rushing, 35 catches. But the MVP really has to be Matthews. 62% passes, 2,900 yards, 27 touchdowns, and he led the Gators to their first ever 10-win season. I'm Chris Mortensen. Let's go out to Craig James in the Southwest beat.
Thanks, Chris. Oklahoma at Nebraska. If Nebraska wins, they go to the Orange Bowl. Lose or tie, and Colorado goes. Game temperature is expected to be in the 30s with a slight chance for snow. This is going to be old-fashioned football. Nebraska has the best rushing offense in the country. Oklahoma has the 4th best defense against the run. Expect these two to neutralize each other. The key will be Oklahoma's offense. Mike Gaddis is coming off 2 200-yard rushing performances. If he does that again, Nebraska's offense will see very little playing time. The visiting team has won 7 of the last 11 games. MVP of the Southwest region has to go to Bucky Richardson, quarterback at Texas A&M. The Aggies are ranked number 10 in the country. Their only loss was when Bucky was out with an injury. Coming into this season, he was the only player on the roster that was returning with a touchdown reception. 14 freshmen and sophomores played on his team this year, and he carried them. Congratulations, Bucky. Now to the West Beat and Mel Kiper Jr.
Thanks, Craig. San Diego State visits Miami. Aztec skill position stars Marshall Faulk and Patrick Rowe, hurt in the BYU game, are healthy and will play. For Miami, running back Stephen McGuire is out for the season after undergoing successful reconstructive knee surgery. And also missing this week's game is running back Donnell Bennett, out due to finger surgery. This leaves them with only 3 healthy backs. Miami will be at a fever pitch this week. Why? For one, bad blood still exists between these two clubs after last year's altercation. They also need an impressive showing to solidify their #1 ranking. Look for Miami to light up the scoreboard. Big names in the West region include Ty Detmer, Marshall Faulk, and Steve Entman. However, my MVP in the West is Stanford's bruising fullback Tommy Vardell, who set a school record with 20 touchdowns. A close second would be Washington's underpublicized wide receiver, Mario Bailey, who owns the Pac-10 record with 17 receiving touchdowns. I'm Mel Kiper Jr. Now let's go to the East Beat and Mike Godfrey.
Thanks, Mel. Big game in the South is Georgia at Georgia Tech. Marco Coleman, one of the great pass rushers, premier pass rushers in the country, didn't play last week with an ankle sprain. He'll be back this week, and along with that defensive front, will try to put pressure on the great freshman quarterback Eric Zaire of Georgia. Now, my big player of the East, the most hands down, Jeff Blake, the quarterback of East Carolina, thrown for 2,790 yards, 26 touchdowns. Here you see him running for a touchdown. Back up, the second choice would be Matt Blunden. Matt Blunden threw a record 231 passes without an interception. Had a great year leading Virginia to a bowl game. Back to you, Chris.
All right, Mike, I agree with you. I think Blake's my most valuable player for the nation, not just for the East. Not a better player than Howard, but more valuable to his team. All right, later, Miami and San Diego State. I think we're moving closer to a split national title, 2 #1s going into the bowls, unless Miami can blow out San Diego State by more than 20.
And Miami needs a big win, but Miami will miss fullback Stephen McGuire, especially in short yardage and goal line situations. Remember, last week against BC, Miami only scored 3 points against BC without McGuire. If I was a coach at San Diego State, I'd loosen up my defensive backs. I'd play a lot of zone defense 90% of the time, and I'd make Miami throw the ball short. Mike, I'm not so sure that Gino Toretta can beat anybody with a short passing game, especially in a big game.
Lee, he's had a great year, and I agree with you on one thing. They're going to miss Stephen McGuire. But San Diego State, who's had a great year out on the West Coast, runs a 40. Run a lot of man coverage, and they run a lot of blitzes. They don't match up well. I look for Miami to light the scoreboard up.
Mike, Miami has beaten more quality teams. Washington wins by bigger scores. Who's deserving of #1 right now?
Well, I think Miami is, but I haven't seen enough of Washington because I haven't seen them on TV. I've had Miami on a couple ball games. I think Miami's the best team in the country, but I think we are headed for a split national champion. But the thing that I can't understand is in the coaches poll, how in the world can you move Michigan ahead of Florida State? Florida State beat them 51-31 and took some of their dirt out of Michigan Stadium down to Florida State. How in the world can you move them ahead of them?
Mike, I'm not surprised at all. Remember, that win was 8 weeks ago, and a lot of people forget between now and then. But I agree with you. I think Florida State should be ranked higher than Michigan. But, oh, by the way, this is an interesting fact. Miami better pray that Nebraska wins tomorrow, because if Miami plays a 15th-ranked Colorado team in the Orange Bowl, they're in big trouble with my team, Washington. And, by the way, #2, I think Washington's the best football team in the nation, you guys.
Well, they would be a 2 or 3 point favorite. Odds makers have told me on a neutral field for whatever that's worth. That's to do it for our halftime blitz. Mike, enjoyed spending some time with you this season on Halftime. Lee, we're going to continue this debate on College Game Day this week. And we'll continue the halftime when we come back. More to come. The Aggies up 10-7 over the Longhorns. Bucky Richardson and company up by 3 points. Peter Gardere intercepted right here in his first pass of the game by Marcus Buckley of the Aggies.
There are 28 teams in the NFL, over 1,200 players, some good, some better, yet they all share the same dream, to make it to the game that will determine the entire season, to be here at the Metrodome on January the 26th. Take it from someone who's been on the field and in the booth. Only one magazine captures all the drama, all the excitement that leads to football's final conflict, the Sporting News. And now you can get the Sporting News at a super price. Each week you get reports on every pro team, strategy, matchups, incredible stats, plus complete off-season coverage and all the college action too. It's a hard-hitting look at football you just can't get anywhere else. And not just football, you get the inside story on basketball, hockey, and baseball too. So to follow all of the drama, all of the excitement, all of the battles that lead to that certain Sunday in January, you need the Sporting News.
At Texas A&M, I've been given the opportunity to work on real projects that aren't just for a grade. I'm gaining great experience.
Experience is important in and out of the classroom. Our physics students are hunting new particles at the Super Collider and building satellite technology at Texas A&M.
Texas A&M University has been demonstrating its commitment to education for over 115 years. Soon we'll be the proud host of the nation's newest presidential library.
Texas A&M University, a leader in education in and out of the classroom.
I could have dropped out of school this year if money was the only thing that mattered. People said I was foolish to want another year of classes, to want to stay with my teammates. When I graduate, not only will I make money, I'll know how to make the money work for me. Staying in school can pay off in more ways than one.
This message provided by the NCAA.
Our triple header on Saturday starts with the Iron Bowl. Auburn, Alabama at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Then in prime time, it's #1 Miami. We've talked about it, trying to strengthen their grip on the top spot against the Aztecs of San Diego State. Then, primetime West Coast. Notre Dame, ranked number 18, visits the islands of Hawaii, trying to break a 2-game losing streak. When we come back, the second half from College Station, the Aggies and Longhorns.
Well, it's taken me a little time to find out life ain't just about working. Don't call it shirking. It'll take a little time for me. I'll get moving and do some serious grooving. I'm gonna kick back, unwind, you know, the American dream is free. And Hager has a feel for America. Hager has a feel for me.
Have some fun in Hager Casual Pants.
Let's light up the night. Let's do it up right.
Let Long John Silver's brighten your holidays with beautiful crystal. Just 69 or 99 cents with any meal.
Go fish Long John Silver's.
When it comes to making batteries that last, somebody's in high gear. Today's Duracell batteries can even outperform the ones we made just a few years back. You can't top the Comfort Top.
The fundamental strength of the University of Texas at Austin is the quality of its students. They are committed to learning, unafraid to ask difficult questions, unwilling to settle for easy answers. From freshman classes to graduate seminars, students find the resources to excel, nurtured by world-renowned faculty. In a rigorous intellectual environment, students broaden their understanding of the world. Students contribute to building one of the nation's most dynamic campuses, the University of Texas at Austin.
We are at halftime. You can see the flash bulbs going off as the Aggie faithful taking pictures of the Fightin' Aggie band as they are closing out their halftime entertainment here. 10-7 is our score, with Texas A&M leading the University of Texas Longhorns by a field goal. And Mike, we talk so much about defense in this first half. Texas is trailing in the ballgame, but they have held the Aggies to 55 total yards in the first half. It's almost like what the season has been like for Texas. Great defense. They got to find some offense.
I think it's going to who takes the wind. And now somebody's going to have it in the third quarter, somebody's going to have it in the fourth quarter. What team's going to make the best advantage of the win and throw the football? Now, when you started the game off, Marcus Buckley with a big play. That's not the way Texas wanted to start this game. You watch Marcus Buckley's block, but Peter Gardere did not try to loft the ball over Marcus Buckley, tried to throw it through him. There you had the interception for the touchdown.
That led to the touchdown, as you could see him go in. Now watch Boone Powell. 56.
Boone Powell drops right back, number 56, picks off Bucky Richardson, and then gives Texas great field position that allowed them to score their touchdown to trail 10-7.
Now let's go down to the field and Dr. Jerry Punch. What do you got for us, Jerry?
Well, Coach, you said you wanted to stay close in the first half, and your kids have played one whale of a ball game. It's close.
Well, they have, other than the one mistake we made earlier where they got the easy touchdown. You know, we're going for it. We've been going for it. We're going to continue, and I'm proud of our players. We just got a great second half to go out and play.
Well, a second half coming up. Coach, what can you do about protecting the quarterback in the second half?
Well, that's something we talked about at halftime that we've got to improve on and get better protection for Gardere.
Good luck to you, Coach. Let's go back upstairs to Ron Franklin.
Thanks, Jerry. 10-7. Aggies lead it. We'll be back with the second half kickoff in just a moment.
Who wears Team NFL clothing? Some thick-necked ex-jock?
Not your everyday friend. Well, baby, that's what you are. Woo!
You couldn't be further from the truth. Right, girls?
Right, Martin.
For Team NFL, Martin Mull and friends.
Your everyday friend.
Get on the inside of the NFL. Call 1-900-535-9000.
Have you ever created or invented a product? Don't just let it sit there. Do something about it. You can start by calling the Inventors Helpline in Washington, D.C. at 800-227-7000. You'll receive free confidential forms and useful information describing the invention process. And when you call right now, you'll also receive a free brochure which tells you how to begin to develop your new idea. So get the ball rolling. Pick up your phone right now and call for your free Inventors Kit.
Call 800-227-7000.
Great players and great teams are constant in the 77-year history of the Southwest Conference. Last year, over 2 million fans saw an offensive explosion as Southwest Conference teams set 22 national records. This season, a wide range of scoring styles continue to generate viewing excitement. And again, the conference boasts exceptional candidates for college football's highest honors. The Southwest Conference, home to your heroes, then and now.
Pete Gardere warming up on the far sideline. You can see the numbers right there. The youngster got off to a shaky start, but overcame some of those obstacles, and the wind continues to blow. Mike, we said off the top of the telecast, it would be a factor, and it has been so far.
What has, and the coaches, the offensive coordinators have to use the wind as their advantage when they have the ball with the wind at their back, and that's when you have to open it up and throw the football.
Ted Barnhill to kick it off to open this third quarter. Now they're saying that wind is up 16 to 23 miles an hour. And that sounds more like it. Let's go back and take a look at the first half stats. And look at those numbers right there.
I think the key statistic there is A&M with 30 yards rushing. That's only 1.5 yards rushing attempt. They're 8th in the country in rushing offense, yet the Texas defense has completely shut them down. Passing yards both low. Texas 29 yards, 20 for A&M.
And turnovers led to both scores or touchdowns. The one interception that went for a touchdown, Boone Powell's interception, led to the Texas touchdown. A&M going into the win in the third quarter. Greg Hill muscling forward. Anthony Curl was the first man to get there. Then Shane Dronette, number 81, to help finish him off. You know, Mike, at halftime there were some questions by some people around in the press box if maybe Richardson was having some problems with his arm, and some of those people did not realize that he had not thrown yesterday. But that's not the kind of spirals that we saw him throw in the first two games we did for Texas A&M this year. Running play, hit at the line of scrimmage, Boone Powell on Carter. And he stops him in his tracks. It's going to be a third down, Texas A&M, and they need the 30-yard line.
Ron, it's either his shoulder or it's the fact that they're going to play to their defense because they haven't thrown the ball like we've seen Texas A&M in the games that we've had them on TV before. And in practice the other day when we watched him, he did not throw one ball.
Sets it, drills the pass. It is complete to Tony Harrison for the first down. And now a flag comes down.
Here you're going to get a look at the route by Tony Harrison, number 23. Now this is a nice safe route. Man coverage on the outside by Grady Cavness. There's the curl route. And Bucky Richardson with a good throw. And then the penalty tacked on after.
$15 yards tacked onto the play for unsportsmanlike conduct. And the penalty takes it out across the 45. Greg Hill back into the boundary. Will have 4, now 5 yards. Bo Robinson, and also you could see number 25, Bubba Jacks, come flying into the pile to help out on the hit. And Doug Carter with a good block on that play.
Bubba Jacks, the free safety, number 25, just darted up inside to make the tackle on the toss play.
Bubba Jacks was the hero of this year's Oklahoma win at the Cotton Bowl, picking up a fumble and taking it the distance for the touchdown. Former option quarterback in high school. Conroe High School. Option. Pitch comes to Hill. It's on the ground, and he does the smart thing by just getting down in the football.
With both these defenses playing so well, the team usually, I believe very strongly, the team that establishes the run wins the game. I think in this game, the team that establishes the pass is going to win this football game. David McWilliams, 5 years at Texas, 31, 25, and 0. No ties.
Hope it's been a fun Thanksgiving day for you and your family. I know we got our ESPN family together and had turkey this afternoon. Had a big time before coming to work. Richardson pumps, now he's going to run it. Here's where he is so dangerous, and he breaks the tackle and comes across the 43. That's enough for the first down. That's the reason he is so valuable to this football team.
Oh, you're so right. He faked a toss play action, and it looked like he was going to come back and throw a screen. Now watch it a little quick, but he's pumping. He's going deep, but the pressure caused him to come out and run the football. Now he turns into a running back and is smart enough to go back past the yard marker and pick up the first down.
Anthony Curl almost looked as though he tried to knock the ball out of his hand rather than lock up on the tackle. Richardson, that pass is caught short inside the 10.
Bucky Richardson, as A&M's opening up the third quarter, they're trying to open up their game plan a little bit more. You see Bucky Richardson, but he doesn't have a lot on this. Hangs up, which leads me to believe that his shoulder is bothering him. Greg Sharp with the reception and picks up valuable yards after the catch. Just misplayed by the secondary of Texas.
Bubba Jacks tried to hit him hard, but did not lock his arms, and the Aggies with the first and goal. 32 yards on that pass play to Short, the tight end. Greg Hill. Ball is loose. A&M has recovered it. Texas had a shot at it, and they tried to pick the football up rather than recover it.
Those are things that give the coach a little more gray hair on the sidelines. David McWilliams, as he paces the sideline, knows he had a chance at that football. Defender tried to pick the football up. Here's Bucky Richardson on the handoff. Watch Greg Hill work his way inside. The ball comes loose. Now Texas has a chance to recover, tries to pick it up.
Bubba Jacks tried to pick the ball up instead of make the recovery after Rapp had knocked it out, and Dexter Wesley made the recovery for the Aggies. Hill at the 3, now the 2-yard line. That's Dronette in the bottom of the pile.
R.C. Slocum on a third down call, and I've seen these guys play enough that this is not the time where you think option play with Bucky Richardson, where you have the threat of the dive, the fullback carrying the ball, you've got the threat of Bucky Richardson on the corner and the option pitch.
Third down, Texas A&M. Pitch as they come to the open side of the field, and he scores. And they're throwing cotton here at Kyle Field. Terry Venetoulias with the extra point attempt for A&M. Knocks it home, and let's take one more look. As Texas A&M moves out on top by 10 points again. Carter with the block. And Hill coming for the sideline. Dives for the cone, and he gets it. Timeout on the field. Aggies by 10.
When you're looking good, you want Bud Light. The clean, fresh taste won't fill you up and never let you down.
You can taste it, you can feel it, you know you got it right. 'Cause everything else is just a light. Just keep your Bud Light shining. Everything else is just a light. You got to shine on. Everything else is just a light.
At GMC Truck, our only business is trucks, and has been for over 80 years. A dedication to truck strengths and values to keep in mind. Because when you need to haul something, tow something, carry precious cargo, find new trails, or simply ride high and proud. There's nothing quite as strong as a truck. GMC Truck, the strength of experience.
It was a dumb argument. It all started when she said she went to the GM dealership for an oil change. How long did it take, I asked. Less than 29 minutes, she said. Look, well, what, did they do anything else or just change the oil? She said they checked the fluids and everything. In less than 29 minutes? Guaranteed. She said, no way, I said. Then she said, why don't you ever believe me? That's when I knew I was in trouble. Thanks.
Your GM dealer's serious about putting service back in the service department. So try Mr. Goodwrench Quick Lube Plus for a change.
ESPN's presentation of CFA football, Texas versus Texas A&M, is brought to you by GMC Trucks, the strength of experience. And by Mr. Goodwrench and your participating GM dealer, keeping quality on the road. Yes, they stand just like that the entire ball game. Texas A&M 17, Texas 7. Both ball clubs having to kick it on the ground into the wind. That is alive. Adrian Walker will knock it out of bounds. Who had it last? It's going to be Texas ball. A&M touched it, but they did not secure it. Had they, it would have been their football.
Watch the ball bounce around here. Now, when you squib kick the football into a wind, you get that kind of bounce, and then just Texas just not able to come up with the ball. Lucky it went out of bounds for him.
Larry Jackson came very close to making the recovery for the Aggies. But Texas takes over with horrible field position just short of the 8. In fact, this is their worst field position of the night. Atkinson steps up to make the hit on Roderick Walker. And let's take another look at the touchdown.
Well, the key blocks when you run a toss sweep will be the block by both tight ends. Number 87, Jason Matthews. Watch him first. He'll block the outside backer. Now watch the block of Greg Sharp on Willie Mack Garza. And then it's just a foot race to the corner. Greg Hill wins it.
Scoring drive, 10 plays, 80 yards, 5:01. And the Aggies scoring going into the win.
Big drive. And the first drive of the third quarter is very important. Big drive for A&M.
Walker again. Texas continues to try to run back into the boundary because I think they feel as though they have a man or two advantage there, the way the Aggies play their defense. But as you can see, the Aggies have reacted to it very quickly and very well.
Well, the advantage is they're trying to get Marcus Buckley, number 9, who's a player who's not used to playing on a tight end. They're trying to get Curtis Thrift, number 84, blocking Marcus Buckley. But Marcus Buckley's able to hold up at the point of attack, and then the linebackers from the inside are making the tackle.
Gardere, quarterback draw. You had to wonder when it was going to happen, Mike.
Well, you talked about trap and you talk about draw and screen to try to hold down the pass rush. This is an adjustment that they made at halftime. You have to be sure of this because they know what kind of look they're going to get. There's Peter Gardere, and then the lead block by the fullback, and a big first down by Texas. Nice call by Lynn Amity, the offensive coordinator of Texas.
Turk McDonald, number 55, a junior out of DeSoto, Texas, with a good block to center.
That's how you take care of the pass rush. You have to slow it down. You have to slow it down with traps, draws, screens.
Roderick Walker out to the 31. Lance Teichelman, sophomore out of Austin, Texas, makes the stop for the Aggies. 17-7, A&M on top. And 7:50 left in this third quarter.
As sure as we're sitting here, Texas isn't going to win this football game unless they throw the football because they need big plays. They're not going to run the football consistently against this A&M defense. They have to throw the football, and they have to throw it with the wind at their back, and they've got 7:37 to do it in.
4 of 9, 1 interception for 29 yards. Those are the numbers on the passing. And Mr. Coriat steps in and says, that's going to be the end of the way, Mr. Gardere.
Wow. When you throw the football, you got to pass protect, and you got to block Quentin Coriat. got a counter play going where you've got your lineman pulling, and you've got a back to pick up Quentin Coriat. Neither one of them pick him up, and he sacks Peter Gardier.
That's the fourth time that the Aggies have gotten to Texas quarterbacks tonight. Coriat stands a real good opportunity to go over his average in this one already with 7 tackles.
There's a better inside linebacker in the country. I haven't seen him.
Roderick Walker, he will be wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Eric England.
A&M has just completely taken over this game at the start of the third quarter. Their offense with a great drive, and the defense just shutting down Texas's offense.
Kelly McClanahan to kick. 2 kicks for an average of 33 so far in this one. And the Aggies have the return on. Driving kick to Smith, down at the 27. Breaks it, and he's going to score. 73 yards. Well, that breaks his season high. He had one earlier for 71, and now this one goes 73 yards. And the Aggies have broken it open here in the third quarter.
In the third quarter, their offense has established superiority. Their defense has, and now their special teams added to. All 3 of them have come out firing here in the third quarter.
Tulius puts the Aggies up by a score of 24-7. One more look. He breaks it past Lance Gunn, and then it is all over but the shot. And there's plenty of that here in Aggie land. We'll take a break. 5:59 left in the third.
What's up, Helen? Guess I've had this old Stanley about 6 years now. Boys, been through it. Been dropped, run over, beat up. You name it, it's been through it. There's not another thermos anywhere that can take it like this one. See what I mean?
The Aladdin Stanley All-Steel Thermos, guaranteed for life.
Dale Earnhardt moves to the inside. Now he's diving into the pit. Let's go down to Bob.
Earnhardt's pulling into the pit. I'm going to try to get a word with him. Dale, why are you stopping at the GM dealership?
The fast or free guarantee.
Fast or free?
Yep, my GM dealer does a complete GM oil change and lube in 29 minutes or less, or the next one's free. Whoop, gotta go.
And Earnhardt's back in record time.
Your GM dealer's serious about putting service back in the service department, so try Mr. Goodwrench Quick Lube Plus for a change.
GMC Truck built America's first gasoline-powered truck and went on to make trucks our only business. Trucks that some say worked a little harder, lasted a little longer. And that's still true today. In a truck that gives you the most standard payload and the strongest resale of any full-size pickup. Sierra from GMC Truck. More proof of the strength of experience.
GMC Truck is the official truck of Super Bowl 26.
Saturday, Miami hosts San Diego State. Auburn meets rival Alabama, and Notre Dame visits Hawaii. Live on ESPN.
Kevin Smith, his second touchdown return on the punting team this year. His longest was 71, and now he has added a couple onto that. 73 yards on a return. And on the other side of the field, the frustration on the part of number 42, Anthony Pearl out of Houston.
When we were over there at practice at Texas the other day, a couple of players told me, they asked the seniors, how'd you do against Oklahoma and A&M? That's very important to these senior football players and the entire football team of Texas.
See, they keep kicking it on the ground into that wind. Walker picks it up, and he's going to be just wrecked at the 21-yard line. Larry Jackson on the special teams. Let's hear from Dr. Jerry Punch. Jerry.
Gentlemen, we heard from David McWilliams coming out at halftime. He said for his Texas offense to be effective, they're going to have to be able to protect Peter Gardere, particularly from that weak side rush. That means probably keeping a back or maybe both backs in to try to protect him from the weak side. Also look to him to try to exploit some of the Aggie pursuit by running some misdirection and maybe even reverse, trying to get back in this ball game. Let's go back upstairs.
Jerry, those are good points. I also think they might try grenades.
You don't have time to run a reverse, I'll tell you, the way they're penetrating.
Gardere up top. Complete to Kenny Neal. And the sophomore from Memphis steps out of bounds just shy of the 40. Neal is the only player on the Texas roster who is not from the Lone Star State.
Well, I'll tell you what, this Texas, I'm so impressed with Texas football. This Kenny Neal, Memphis, Tennessee. Sophomore split in, but I said before, when you have a coaching clinic, I've visited coaching clinics all over the country, the Texas high school coaches are unbelievable in the teaching and the great job they do in this state. And they attend these clinics, I mean, just so well attended. Football means so much to the Texas high school coaches.
I want to say thanks to the Houston Touchdown Club. I got to fly down for their annual show, and it's a great one. It's the A&M and Texas luncheon that they put on every year. They fly in both head coaches, fly them right back so they can get to practice. But 800 people yesterday, half in orange and white, half in maroon and white, and it is a really fun event. Flew down there with David McWilliams, came back to College Station with R.C. Slocum, and had some good visiting time with him. As you look at Marcus Buckley being helped off, he is okay, but he's getting a standing ovation. He has a touchdown tonight, and he also has a fumble recovered. One other word about the Houston Touchdown Club and the job that those guys do that you really have to appreciate, which backs up your point. This next week, they honor the high schools in the Houston area, and the area coaches help them pick the all-offense and all-defensive players. And, Mike, the kids that have won those awards have gone on not just to be All-Americans, but many have gone on to be All-Pros.
I'm sure a lot of them are on this field tonight.
Yeah. Gardere going to go long, and it is incomplete. McLemore had it in his hands, and he dropped it. Pretty good coverage by Derek Frazier, but it looked as though McLemore had a chance, and then he got turned around a little bit.
I think the interesting thing here, Jerry Punch was talking about, look at this. What they now are going to is a front. They're using all their blockers, 2 tight ends. It's a 1 receiver route. That's how they're trying to block Texas A&M. There's only 1 receiver out on this play. That's how much respect they have for the defense of Texas A&M.
Gardere, 5 of 11, 1 interception. Walker misses the pitch out and then gets on the football. And guess who's on his back? Number 44, Quentin Coriat.
Tell you, there's something about a confidence level on your offense, and this offensive football team's confidence level is very low. Watch Quentin Coriat. He just fires through. No one picks him up. The toss sweep is fumbled, and he was close to recovering that football. He can run. That was a dead start, and he took off.
Coriat is 6'4", 243, senior from Baytown Lee.
He'll be playing on Sundays next year.
Yeah. Atkinson coming on the blitz. Gardere going to be knocked down for another loss. Marlon Haynes this time. Number 2 got to him.
Wow. I'm telling you, in the snap of the football, there are more A&M players having a reunion around Peter Gardere than you can imagine. I mean, he has 0 chance to get that football away.
It's what they call meet you at the quarterback. Now you got to face this guy again. He just returned 173 yards. This one is off the side of McClanahan's foot. And let's see where they're going to spot it. It will be marked down at around the 45-yard line. So let's take a timeout. 4:09 left in the third. Aggies by 17.
The way to not win in tennis is to think too much about your opponent. Because in tennis, you don't just play the opponent. You've got to play the ball. It's how you play the ball that determines whether your shot is in or out. Whether the point is won or lost. Play the ball better than your opponent, and you'll play winning tennis. Now, you can play the ball and win with this double offer from Tennis Magazine. You'll receive a free half-hour video by Tennis Magazine instruction editor Vic Braden, plus a full year, 12 issues of Tennis Magazine. Call this number now and change the way you play tennis. What a combination. The How to Play Winning Tennis with Vic Braden video, plus the magazine that brings more instruction to more tennis players than any other. Call 800-521-2170 for a full year of Tennis Magazine plus the free video. Just $13.77. Call 800-521-2170 now.
The Davis Cup Final tomorrow morning live on ESPN.
24-7. Aggies are leading. Carter, the fullback, goes straight ahead for a couple. It's Chris Rapp, sophomore out of Dallas, number 63 in the stop. Dr. Jerry Punch, what do you have for us?
Well, gentlemen, it's not good news, but it isn't that bad news either. Marcus Buckley, the linebacker you saw go down a minute ago, he's the leading sack leader for the Aggies, has a 1+ sprain of the MCL. That's the medial collateral ligament of his left knee. He will not play anymore tonight. He should be able to play in the Cotton Bowl. They rehab it. Not really that significant an injury, but they won't use him tonight unless they absolutely have to. Back upstairs.
Okay, thanks, Jerry. That would be a significant loss for the Cotton Bowl game, obviously, if he was unable to go. Chris Rapp has just picked up his 11th tackle. They had just handed us a note saying that he was in double figures. 11 stops for Rapp. And he is the man who's having to fill in for Padgett, only a sophomore.
Oh, for his first start, you're talking about a big-time game. And you're talking about a defense. I mean, you look at their record, 5-5. You look at this defense. They've played some serious football all year. They've been in every game because of their defense.
Leon Fuller, the defensive coordinator for the Texas Longhorns. Got to visit with him the other day, and he was extremely worried about having to come over here and play this ball game tonight. Hill. Anthony Curl will stop him, but not before Texas A&M picks up the first down behind the blocking of Wesley and Tyler Harrison on that left side.
Well, they've just dominated since they've come out in the second half. In every area, Greg Hill with 18 rushes, 46 yards, 1 touchdown. A&M on a roll.
Hill again as the Aggies try to work him a bit more. It's Chris Rapp who came over to get a piece of him along with Patton. James Patton, also a senior. 6'3", 290 out of League City, Texas. Extremely strong and another youngster, one of many on both sides of the ball that the NFL scouts are looking at. About to go under 2 minutes in this third quarter. In 2 minutes, the Aggies will have the win behind them. Not that they need it. Hill tries to turn the corner. He'll have a couple. Boone Powell, who has an interception tonight, will take it for a couple. It's going to be third down, and A&M needs the 34.
Ron, when you play in these rivalries or you coach in them, if you win it, you enjoy it. The next night you start getting into recruiting and you're off trying to get 25 more players. But if you lose it, it's something you got to live with for 365 days till you get another shot at these old boys, because, I mean, it is an important game you don't want to lose if you're coaching in this game.
Aggies are 4 of 4 this half on third down conversions. That pass, too tall.
There's something wrong with Bucky Richardson throwing. I think the shoulder has to be giving him problems because he's pushing the football. He's not throwing it. He's not cutting loose. He's just having problems with his shoulder.
So it'll be punting time. David Davis comes on to kick for Texas A&M. Willimac Garza drops off in a single safety. Willimac out of Refugio, Texas, probably one of the more mispronounced of Texas cities because of its spelling, R-E-F-U-G-I-O. Very high kick going to the far side and takes an Aggie roll. That's going to go out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. 30 yards in the kick, but the effectiveness of it will go dead at the 9. But be sure and catch all the NFL action on Sundays on ESPN. Chris Berman, Tom Jackson, and Joe Theismann will be there. NFL's game day at noon tomorrow. Well, actually, it says tomorrow. This copy normally is for Saturday night, but we all know this is Thursday. So a couple of tomorrows on down the road on Sunday. And then you'll see the best recap in television on NFL primetime at 7 o'clock. And then Sunday night, NFL's coverage continues this weekend at San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium. It's the Raiders against the Chargers, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Pete Gardere in the grasp of Eric England first. Eric is a big sophomore out of Sugar Land, Willow Ridge. Willow Ridge, another program that sends a lot of good players into the colleges down in the Houston area. See the pressure coming from the outside. He goes straight ahead with Shane Childers on the carry and Solari.
When you play against this A&M defense, you better keep them out of a rhythm. And right now they are in a rhythm. They're playing their own song because they know exactly what Texas is trying to do to them, and they're just beating them on the blocks. They're coming from the outside. They're pressuring them. Just really dominating the Texas offense.
2 seconds down to 1, and that is the end of the third quarter. They're standing here at Kyle Field, so let's take a break. Aggies 24 and Texas 7.
At GMC Truck, our only business is trucks, and has been for over 80 years. A dedication to truck strengths and values to keep in mind. Because when you need to haul something, tow something, carry precious cargo, find new trails, or simply ride high and proud, there's nothing quite as strong as a truck. GMC Truck, the strength of experience.
It's not just a car, it's your freedom.
You know, most people don't know when to start checking their shocks.
One thing to watch out for, they'll wear out faster if you carry heavy loads or drive on bad roads.
And it isn't just a matter of comfort. Bad shocks can mean bad handling, too.
These GM Goodwrench shocks come with a warranty. The warranty is good for as long as you own your GM car or truck.
See Mr. Goodwrench wherever you see these signs.
We're giving the competition a run for their money on price, too.
If you're into working out, Bud Light invites you to get ready for the ultimate workout. The Bud Light Triathlon Series.
You can taste it, feel it, know you got it right. 'Cause everything else is just a light.
The Bud Light Triathlon Series. Just try it.
You can do it with true value.
Light up and save. A GE 100 light set plus bonus 35 light set is just $7.99. And this lifelike 6.5-foot alpine fir tree from Hudson Valley is only $59.95. Take home volume 26 of Happy Holidays music on cassette, just $2.99, or CD, only $3.99 at your local True Value, the neighborhood hardware store with national chain store buying power.
Need an extra car? Get ready. Call Thrifty for a roomy minivan to go.
How about a fun weekend retreat? Get set. Call Thrifty for that weekend breather. Now you can use this credit card for Montgomery Ward car rental at participating Thrifty locations and in select Auto Express locations at Montgomery Ward. With Thrifty, you can leave it all behind, and you get away with paying less. Thrifty car rental, because it's your money.
The final quarter. And you see those 12th man towels. Third down, and the line to make is the 19-yard line. Gardere gets it complete to Kenny Neal. Did he catch it out of bounds? Yes. Steve Solari was coming with the pressure, number 94.
He's playing and he replaced Otis Neely, who was usually the starter there, but sprained his ankle against SMU, and Solari has entered this game, played pretty well. Pressured the quarterback.
Kellen McClanahan, who had a leg injury earlier this year, taking to Kevin Smith, and this time into the wind. Texas A&M with the return on the wind, really holding this punt up. Now takes a big Texas bounce, but will not make it to midfield. Down at the 46. Higgins will touch it down. It's a 37-yard punt. Dr. Jerry Punch, what do you have for us now?
Gentlemen, we're not trying to make any excuses for the Texas people. We told you they had significant injuries. What I wanted to show you here was a piece of what looks like Darth Vader's body armor. Actually, it is a piece that is being worn here by Robert Hensley, and it's a shoulder subluxar inhibitor. That's what this does. Alan Luther, the offensive tackle from Texas, wears this. You cannot sublux your right shoulder to keep it from dislocating. He is wearing that trying to play and trying to defend against the Aggie rush. Got to be pretty tough out there for the Longhorn offensive lineman. Let's go back upstairs.
Well, they have come along with everything as far as technology, haven't they, Mike?
Need a gun to stop A&M tonight.
Isn't that the truth? Hill. Little stiff arm action on Grady Cavett. Will come out of bounds.
16 lands. Good.
Eventually, you just wear your defense down when you don't have any offense to complement it. And the Texas defense looks like it's at that stage.
21 carries, 60 yards for Greg Hill. Texas offensive line on the far side, listening to their offensive line coach Clovis Hale. Anthony Curl steps up and makes the hit on Carter. And that will be enough for the A&M first down, as right now I don't imagine they would like to throw the football at all if they don't have to.
Going to run the clock. Texas tonight is great play from their defensive front. And both safeties, Garza, number 17, and of course Lance Gunn, the big, tall, strong safety, 6'3", 214, number 16. They played it very well in the secondary against the running game of A&M.
Hill again as the Aggies come back into the boundary. Rapp was out there to push him out of bounds, and you can see the marker that has been thrown, that down at the 34-yard line. Saturday, Mike and I will begin a triple header here on ESPN. We will be in Birmingham, Alabama for that matchup between the Auburn Tigers and the Crimson Tide of Alabama. At their 56th meeting. You talk about state bragging rights.
For 365 days of the year in the state of Alabama, they talk football. Believe me. I mean, I'm living in Mobile, Alabama. They do not miss a day.
I think you told me every one of those days as well. There's at least one
Foul
story.
was illegal procedure by the offense. 6 men on the line of scrimmage.
I think you told me there's a story in the newspaper every day, even if it's baseball season or anything else.
They could be talking about the Atlanta Braves doubleheader, but there's going to be something about Alabama and Auburn in there in football. They take it serious in Alabama, and I'll bet those two teams are watching this game tonight and preparing for their big clash on Saturday.
Carter Oh, boy. He gets stuck by Patton first. And then it's Anthony Curl, number 42, who steps up to make the hit. You know, I was interested in talking with David McWilliams when he said that Curl, if they were to lose Rapp in the middle, that they would move Curl in as the middle linebacker. I said, Coach McWilliams, he only weighs 195. And he said, yeah, but that's the safest place to put him when you got Patton and Tommy Jeter as the defensive stop.
There's some big trees he can hide behind at that middle backer spot.
Curl is small, but he packs quite a wallop. Richardson. Gets stacked one away, incomplete. Mac Garza with the cover on Tony Harrison. So Saturday, the lineup is Auburn and Alabama. Then it is Miami at home, the top-ranked team in the nation, against San Diego State. Then we head out to the islands, and Hawaii playing host to the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. As you look at Reveille.
For a little TV time there.
And Bevo. 4 of 12, 1 interception. The numbers on Bucky Richardson. Intercepted by Cavanis. And he is shoved out of bounds at the 49-yard line.
Interesting call. Scored 24-7. Roll Bucky Richardson the right. He just doesn't have anything on it. Ron, he's hurting. I'm telling you, he can't get enough on it. Watch this pass. Rolls to the right. Just doesn't look like he gets anything on that football. Grady Cavanis, number 21, steps inside for the interception. Keith Alex, number 67, knocks him out of bounds.
Cavanis had a touchdown return against TCU this year. Texas will go with the reverse. This is Duke. And that will be a couple of yards. It's on the ground. Who's got it? It looks like Shea Shafee, number 76 for the Longhorns, has made the recovery. And if he has, that's going to be enough for the first down. It's a good way to pick up an extra 4 yards.
The ball was recovered by number 76.
I'm telling you, just when you have your confidence level shaken like they have all year, this offensive football team. Last year they made plays and came from behind, and you had the supporting cast played, but this year they just haven't been able to get it together on this side of the football.
That ball is loose again. And to the 30-yard line is Shane Childers. But Texas had, what, 5 turnovers in the second half against Baylor?
Well, that'll drive you crazy. David McWilliams is just trying to keep his young club in this. You see, the football's going to pop right out. No one hits him. Just kind of bounces out, hit against his pads.
And it looks as though Tom Penders has taken over the offense. He's teaching them to dribble.
Dribble on the football.
Pass complete to Curtis Thrift over the middle to the 23-yard line. Quentin Coriat, number 44, there to make the tackle.
Let's go.
David McWilliams played at the University of Texas, was on a national championship team. Actually was an academic All-American for the Longhorns, was a math major. Phil Brown has come to the ball game, number 29 at running back. Brown with the handoff. Has 5 and now counted off at 10 yards as Jason Atkinson is holding on to him, and the Longhorns will move the chains on that one with a first down. They're inside the 15.
Well, Phil Brown came off the mark. 5'11", 196-pound sophomore. Patrick Bates finally made the tackle on him, but he really shot out of the backfield. Picked up good yardage.
To 7, Texas A&M. We're about to go under 12 minutes left in the ball game. Bill Brown. Brown is finally stopped at the 6-yard line. Coriat and Chris Crooms combining in the tackle.
Now tried to get the football outside, and they pitched the ball outside, and pretty good blocking, and they were able to cut off the linebackers. Quentin Coriat shot inside along with Jason Atkinson, and the toss play got it outside of the linebacker stunt inside.
Brown hit at the line of scrimmage, and Webb will take him down after he spun off one tackle. And because of his second effort, he got back to the line of scrimmage. He really got belted as soon as he got the football.
Well, he was met by Jason Atkinson, number 43. Again, all evening, Texas A&M's been able to fire the linebackers. Watch number 43 on a stunt. No one picks him up. And he just misses the tackle, but he hits him in the backfield.
You know, in the lineups tonight, we talked about him and the fact that he was so underrated. Atkinson now has 12 tackles in this game, right?
Hey, they chase him. They're always trying to get away from Quentin Coriat, Sam Adams, and Marcus Buckley. And they're trying to go to Jason Atkinson. He's pretty strong himself.
On third down, Walker spins off a tackle, and I believe he will have the Texas first down. Derek Frazier, who's a junior out of Sugar Land Clements, to make the stop. Well, there's no doubt that even if Texas does not pick it up here, that being down 24-7, that they will make it 4 downs. He didn't have it. Pete Gardere says just that much, just inches.
Here's what you have to worry about here, Ron. If you're Texas, if you try to go up inside, you got those linebackers firing. I don't know if you want to take the ball off the line of scrimmage unless you toss it here. Peter Gardere may get it on the quarterback sneak. So close. I'd hesitate to take the ball off the line of scrimmage if I was David McWilliams here.
Gardere, and he didn't get it. Coriat.
They timed that so well. I'm not sure they weren't offsides, A&M. They were timed that perfectly, but I think they may have been offsides.
Texas is jumping and pointing toward Texas A&M, and I think you're exactly right, Mike.
Well, they went with the quarterback sneak. Peter Gardere, Quentin Coriat figured the same thing, and he met him. And about the time he got to snapping the football, but they were offsides, and first down now for Texas. I tell you, when you play these guys, when you take a quarterback sneak, you get hit too. I mean, you get belted around by these A&M defensive players.
Glenn Amity on the sideline sending into play. Here's the situation. Just over 10 minutes to play in the ball game. This is the 8th play of the Texas drive. Walker cuts it back up, and he got chilled by Quentin Coriat.
Tackle by number 44, Quentin Coriat.
Tried to run the toss sweep with 2 lead blockers into the short side of the field. You're going to see the toss. There's the toss to the tailback coming this way, but A&M does a nice job of forcing the ball back up inside to the linebackers, Quentin Coriat and Jason Atkinson. Didn't allow him to get outside of the corner.
Texas faked to the fullback and then made the handoff and almost made it to Mark Wheeler, and there was just nothing there for number 24, Roderick Walker.
You could have had a little Polaroid camera and taken a picture down there. All 22 guys are all together down there. Have to try to toss it and get outside of this A&M defense. I'll tell you, just inside is just tough to get a yard against these guys.
It's third down. Walker will score.
Great job,
Second touchdown for the freshman from Irving, Texas.
Well, they came outside with a toss sweep and got good blocking and were able to get up inside and able to get in the end zone. Roderick Walker.
16 carries, 38 yards, and 2 touchdowns for him tonight. Craig Dickey makes it 24-14, and another look at the Texas touchdown.
Here you see the toss play. Good blocking at the point of attack. Now Roderick Walker's going up inside, but he's going airborne.
Gerald Crawford, number 37, with a very good block on the play, and the reaction on the far sideline by Texas. Horns get on the board with their second touchdown. Let's take a break. 8:44 left to play.
VHS camcorders just got into shape. The Sharp Slim Cam, the world's smallest, lightest full-size VHS camcorder. Big camcorder features like 12:1 zoom and tapes that fit your VCR. Sharp Slim Cam, the great new shape in camcorders.
State Farm sells life insurance. And when we start you out with a life insurance plan, our job is just beginning. You see, we're there after you buy the policy, keeping in touch as your life changes, listening, explaining, answering your questions, helping you keep your life insurance plan up to date as your needs change. State Farm agents are there to start you right, and we're there to keep things right for the people you love.
State Farm sells life insurance.
Mercury Sable has already distinguished itself as a leader in automotive design. So this year, other than redesigning the exterior, the interior, the instrument panel, and making it the only car in its class to offer dual airbags, we've pretty much left it alone. All this in the quality of a Mercury.
Someone's taken some steps to juice up their batteries. And today's Duracell batteries can even outlast the ones we made just a few years back. You can't top the copper top.
ESPN's presentation of CFA football, Texas versus Texas A&M, is brought to you by Lincoln Mercury and the complete line of 1992 Lincolns and Mercuries. And by today's Duracell, the copper top battery. Well, Mike, the crowd tonight, and it's been a very loud one, the 5th largest in Kyle Field history. 76,532. And all 5, you talked about how big this game is and how important. All 5 of the top 5 are games against Texas.
Big rivalry. College football at its best. The color, the pageantry, the excitement, the rivalries. It's just unbelievable when you see a rivalry, Texas A&M, and the rest of them all over the country. Just something to see.
Well, the crowd got all fired up, was getting their Giga-Maggie mass cheer ready, and the ball blew off the tee. Now, and it's a trick by Texas. Line drive, they were going to onside kick it, and it was caught by Marlon Haynes. Nobody got fooled on that one. Ted Barnhill went back up. I guess the ball had not completely come off the tee like he was going to reset it. Then he turned and kicked it.
I think it was a fake all the way, Ron. What he wanted to do is go up and make it look like he was going to readjust it. Now watch him turn real quick, kick the ball. But A&M put a defensive back, Marlon Haynes, right up inside. They were expecting the onside kick.
Mitchell in motion as Bucky Richardson will take it. And Anthony Curl stops him just inside the 40.
I'll be shocked if we just don't see Texas A&M just run the football now, try to work on the clock and try to grind out some yardage against this Texas defense.
One of the members of the core in attendance here tonight. Texas Aggies trying to come up with the best start since pretty while back. I guess it was
1975, Emory Ballard.
Got off to a 10-0 start that year. Carter takes it straight ahead. But you told me during the timeout you didn't think that the Aggies would throw into the pass tonight.
No.
And right now they're going along with your thought as far as a game plan, as we've just gone under 8 minutes to play in this one.
This Cotton Bowl game that we're going to see, Texas A&M against Florida State, is going to be a pretty good football game. The Cotton Bows to be credited. They're going to have a nice between these two football teams. A&M strong.
I was talking with one of the scouts from Florida State at halftime, and his comment was, he said, wow, these are two of the best defenses that we've seen in a while.
That'll tax the offense of Florida State. Bobby Bowden will come up with a great game plan, but he'll be taxed against this defense because they're so quick.
Richardson wants a timeout. 7:29 left to play. A&M by 10.
Some say a 1930s fashion-inspired Lincoln Town Car. Perhaps it was simply the spirit of the times. We only know that today, Town Car is the most spacious, most quiet automobile you can own. Lincoln Town Car. What a luxury car should be.
Why are foreign films so foreign?
Perché domando perché?
Try Bud Dry. It's dry brew, not watered down. To drink light, yet satisfy completely. So at least refreshment speaks to everyone.
Imagine being born with the ability to meet any challenge expertly. That's the wonder of the Maxim XI from Minolta. With the experience of professionals programmed right in, it responds to any change of speed, or light, or distance automatically. For ultimate performance, the multi-talented Maxim XI, born experienced.
Only from the mind of Minolta.
Saturday, Miami hosts San Diego State. Auburn meets rival Alabama, and Notre Dame visits Hawaii. Live on ESPN.
Well, the Texas Aggies picking cotton, and that they will do against the Seminoles of Florida State in Dallas. Right now, they lead 24-14. Oddly enough, Mike, every touchdown tonight has been scored into the win. But they also have come after turnovers with the exception of one, right?
That's exactly right.
Dr. Jerry Punch has another report for us. Jerry.
Gentlemen, if you take a look at Bucky Richardson's left wrist or left forearm, that's the Aggie quarterback, you'll see he's wearing a device called a wrist coach. What it basically is a wristband that has a window. You see him looking down at that wrist coach. He is reading plays that are inserted inside the window by the offensive coordinator. They practice all week with a certain kind of play. He can glance at his left wrist and see what he wants to run, come to the line of scrimmage, and call the play. Back upstairs.
Richardson. Back to Hill, and it's Anthony Curl. You can see him along with 16 Lance Gunn making the stop. Before that play, Richardson with 8 carries for 17 yards, passing 4 of 13, 2 interceptions, 60 yards. His total output tonight, 77.
It's one of the lowest games he's had. The secondary of Texas, Bobby Jack Wright, the secondary coach, you just watched Lance Gunn, number 16, come up and make the play on the option. The secondary for Texas has had a good night against the A&M passing game and also the rushing game. Watch for the shovel draw right here on this formation to the tailback.
There it is, little shovel pass into the middle, and Hill breaks the tackle and is caught from behind by Chris Rapp.
To show them what you're trying to do is show like it's going to be a pass, but it's going to be a shovel draw to the tailback, to the tight end side. You want to spread them out, make it look like a pass. That becomes just like a draw play, the underneath throw to Greg Hill. There you see Bucky Richardson behind him, just dropping back a little bit. You see the cross blocking of the offensive line to set up the shovel draw.
Rodney Thompson, the youngster out of Groveton, who has been so exciting in the other 2 games that we have carried of Texas A&M. And in case you missed those, this young fella led his high school, Groveton High School, to 2 state championships. He rushed for over 8,400 yards in high school. Not a lot of drop-off when he comes in, and Hill leaves the ball game.
Right there, right there. talk about a play now they'll put on all the videos across the country. This was going to be the gate play. And a reverse off the swinging gate play where Bucky Richardson just steps up, pitches the ball back, and then you have the reverse off of a trick play. And they've got the officials tricked also.
Offsides against Texas.
You're going to see Bucky Richardson on the left-hand side of your screen. See, he's like the center. They got all the linemen over here, except you got a little movement by both teams. You really had some movement, and there's the reverse off of the trick play. They called offsides on Texas. A little trickery. And David McWilliams is upset because he thought that Texas A&M people were moving also. A couple of the linemen were moving.
William Garza comes into the ball game. Number 17. Carter with the first down, and it is a 1st and goal from the 7 as Chris Rapp from the middle linebacking spot is there to make the tackle. ESPN's coverage of college basketball continues tomorrow night. It's the preseason NIT championship game. Georgia Tech against Oklahoma State in New York's Madison Square Garden. That's at 7:30 Eastern Time. Then at 9:30, number 20 ranked DePaul with All-Star forward David Booth facing off against Memphis State. And, of course, Anthony Hardaway, along with David Vaughn, a couple of the stars for the Memphis State Tigers. That is at 9:30. All tomorrow night, right here on ESPN. 8th play of the drive for A&M. And Richardson is going to be hit and knocked down by Bo Robinson. Also, Boone Powell, 56, came in to help out. We're about to go under 4 minutes left in this one.
There you see Bob Toledo, the offensive coordinator, along with R.C. Slocum, talking over the plays. What usually you have is 2 coaches up in the press box. And on those headsets, both the coaches up in the press box can talk to Bob Toledo and R.C. Slocum. All 4 of them are in on the conversation. Bob Toledo makes the final judgment on the play to be called.
Richardson lobs it. Nobody is there. It's caught, and Doug Carter fell down. If Carter keeps his feet, he walks in.
Caught Texas in man for man, brought the flanker in motion, picked the inside linebacker who has Doug Carter, just ran into him. The man that had Doug Carter got erased, and that's why Doug Carter was so open. He just couldn't keep his feet. You're right. He keeps his feet. He's in the end zone for an easy score.
10th play of the drive, and it's 3rd down and goal.
Toss sweep left.
Hill breaks by a tackle and score.
Play a lot of these rivalry games.
Yeah, he's
young man.
He's just a freshman from Dallas Carter. He's got 3 more of these coming up. 24 carries for 66 yards for him and 2 touchdowns. Venetoulius. And one more look. The block on Cavanis. Cut right there, and he gets by Boone Powell, I believe, 56, yes, and Hill scores it. Let's take a break.
Dogs don't have a lot in common with cats. Even their nutritional needs are different, but they both love chicken. That's why Purina One developed a separate dog formula and cat formula that both use chicken. Chicken, together with other high-quality ingredients, helps provide ideal nutrition and a naturally good taste that dogs and cats both love. So now dogs do have something in common with cats.
favorites. Purina One, second to none. See for yourself that Purina One is different from most other dried dog or cat foods. Call 1-800-755-1111 and we'll send you a free sample of Purina One brand dog or cat food. Then compare our ingredient label to your present label, and you'll appreciate the difference. So will your dog or cat. So call 1-800-755-1111 for your free sample. Purina One, second to none.
Excitement that stands out. NCAA basketball coming at you. Preseason tournament thrills continue with the NIT Championship game. It's outstanding stuff. Live Friday night on ESPN.
Hi, this is Chris Myers. Coming up at 11, the Lions and Bears feasted a key Central Division game. Penn State and Pitt renew their rivalry, and we'll look back at the original game of the century. Join Mike Tirico and me for a 1-hour sports center.
It's Greg Hill time. That's what the hat says that he's been wearing around campus for these many weeks. Look at this, 12 touchdowns, A&M freshman record, and they are headed to the Cotton Bowl against Florida State. A lot of people brought their own cotton along tonight. Twelfth man towels in abundance. A&M 31, Texas 14. Venetoulias with the kickoff. And this one will sail out the back of the end zone, and Adrian Walker can't do much about that. I'll be sure to get your first look at New Year's college freshman phenoms as Scholastic Sports America profiles the season's best high school players, plus a look at some great Turkey Day rivalries and scores from Thanksgiving high school games across the country. Dan Debenham and Adrian Karsten will have the show for you. Scholastic Sports America Thanksgiving football special, and it follows next. This, by the way, the most points allowed by Texas in the regular season since 47 by Houston back in 1989. Gardere zips this pass, looking for his tight end, Curtis Thrift.
Talk about the high school prospect show that's coming on after our game. Every coaching staff right now is sitting in those meeting rooms, deciding on the 25 players that they want across the country. The recruiting process will be speeding up here in the next few weeks, and every football team, if you lost and you had a bad year, you just look to recruiting to try to keep rebuilding. If you're winning, you enjoy it, but you're also out in the recruiting path because you know that's 3 years from now, that's going to be the basis of your football team.
Pass tipped, looking for Thrift again, and it's Jason Atkinson who made the defensive play for Texas A&M.
He may be a player that not a lot of people talk about on this defense, but he has had a big night against the Texas Longhorns.
When we gave the lineups tonight, we talked about how underrated he is. And of course, when you got a guy like Coriata, who's so flamboyant on the field and not only makes the play, but makes the big play, a guy like Atkinson, a steady performer, sometimes gets lost in the shuffle. Buckley gets a lot of height because of the big play. Ball is loose. And the officials say Texas has recovered. So it is a 4th down. And the Longhorns will have to give it up with 2 minutes, 40 seconds left in this one.
Ron, when you watch tape of Texas A&M, Jason Atkinson always comes to the front. He is, just what you say, a very steady football player.
Kelly McClanahan. That ball just dying into the wind. The Aggies had nobody back to keep from having a turnover. It will be touchdown at the 47-yard line. That's a kick of 28 yards, and now Texas A&M has to run off 2 minutes and 11 seconds. And just like the spirit in the stadium, the bonfire continues to glow. Part of the tradition here in Aggie land. R.C. Slocum did it almost like the basketball coaches did. A little flair here. Sent him out on the field and then sent in his reserve, Granger, and allowed Bucky to come off.
He now is 24, 5-1 as a starter for Texas A&M. Bucky Richardson.
Randy Simmons, the ball carrier. Now a flag comes down.
Flag on the play.
Dr. Jerry Punch, what do you have for us?
Guys, a couple of games ago, we showed you one of the A&M traditions was the yell leaders. Not cheerleaders, but yell leaders. They don't have cheers, they have yells. And also they have ODs, or officers of the day. And I'm with Eric Moore. And Eric, you're one of the ODs here today from Company A1. What an OD do?
So the officers of the day guard the field. It's a tradition here in Aggie Land that no one goes on the field except for the players until the game is over. And then we keep everyone else off, too. Keeps the field clean, and it also keeps everyone from getting hurt. Also, Cobb Field is a memorial, and we protect the memorial here, sir. That's our tradition here, and that's what we're doing here today.
Another great tradition here in Aggie Land. Let's go back upstairs.
They got two defenses. One on the field, one off.
That's a great point. That penalty was against Texas, so it's a 1st down and 5 from the 42. Granger turns and pitches back to McAfee. And Keith McAfee, a senior out of Sugarland Willow Ridge, will take it for the first, the 30-yard line. By the way, Jeff Granger is a southpaw. I don't know if we'll see him throw or not, but he is a heck of a pitcher for the Texas A&M baseball team. In fact, he made second-team All-American last year as a freshman. Thomas tries to break away, and he's going to be stopped at the 29-yard line. Anthony Curl and Grady Cavanis out there to make the stop.
That young man had a big night. Quentin Coriat, along with Jason Atkinson, two outstanding linebackers. Last home game here at College Station. Tell the players that you always remember your last home game. And Quentin Coriat's not going to forget his.
Randy Simmons, the senior out of McKinney, takes it down to the 23, and now we're under 1 minute. You see Boone Powell getting up off the stack. He is a senior. Last game for him out of Duncanville, Texas. He had an outstanding year.
If you're on the winning staff, it's a great feeling down on that sideline, Ron, to beat your arch rival. But if you're on that other side, all you can think of is recruit, 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 recruit.
On the stop as Rodney Thomas took the pitch out, and unless something happens, that should do it. They will count it down as R.C. Slocum gets a bag and a hug. The cannon sounds. And the 98th edition of the Texas A&M rivalry is complete. Once again, the final score, Texas A&M 31 and Texas 14. Stay tuned for the college football scoreboard, which follows next. Now for Mike Gottfried and Dr. Jerry Punch, I'm Ron Franklin saying so long from College Station, Texas.
Mercury Sable has already distinguished itself as a leader in automotive design. So this year, other than redesigning the exterior, the interior, the instrument panel, and making it the only car in its class to offer dual airbags, we've pretty much left it alone. All this in the quality of a Mercury.
Today, we need to make every drop of oil count. So at BP, we're using advanced drilling techniques. Building oil fields that are smaller, more efficient, more productive than ever. Because that's the kind of thinking it takes to deliver about 10% of America's domestic oil. and to make the most of every drop. BP, the energy to change.
Why not have one for the road? Someone is counting on you. It could be your year for Lotto. You haven't seen Europe yet. In fact, you never know what's around the corner. If you need a better answer, you don't understand the question. A message from Bud Brine.
GE Spacemaker products. A higher level of entertainment for your kitchen.
And winds northwest 30 knots, gusting to 45 knots. Rain expected to continue till 10 p.m. 5 inches predicted in the 7-county area. We need about 1,500 more bags. 1,500 more. Yeah, we gotta shore up the left side. The left side's the bad.
United Airlines now flies you nonstop to London's Heathrow from 6 U.S. cities. Come fly the friendly skies.
It's the first perfect conference season for A&M since '56 when Bear Bryant was coaching. You love the linebackers of the Aggies.
Texas A&M's, all their starting linebackers for the last 10 years have had an opportunity to play National Football League football. It's amazing.
It is incredible. Shot against FSU quickly?
Maybe. They can play defense, but they got to find a new offense before the Cotton Bowl game.
Okay, that will do it for us. The Scholastic Sports America Thanksgiving Special is coming up next on ESPN. A look at some of the great rivalries and the future prospects for college football. SportsCenter follows that. Join us at 11:30 Eastern Saturday morning for College Game Day and a big triple header starting with the Iron Bowl at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Happy Thanksgiving from all of us at ESPN College Football.
The Southwest Conference Championship and Cotton Bowl berth belong to the Aggies.